honest, I don't know when to come in, but check it out. Check it out. Good. Oh, I fucked that up. It's fine. Okay, so this is the girls' code episode, and you best fucking believe we are going to tear the guy code episode apart because we have brought back Cassie,
hey,
and Mallory.
What's up?
And we have our new guest, Kylie.
Hey.
So we are doing a girls' code episode because last week I wasn't a part of the podcast, so they decided to do a guy code. So we're going to kind of talk about some of the things we literally don't agree with.
We got some shit to say.
We have plenty of rebuttals for the guys, but we also have our own perspective, and we'll do it respectfully and with class.
Will we?
With the best amount of class the four of us can come up with.
Before we start, I want to shout out Alpha.
Oh, yeah. Alpha.
He's really trying.
Oh, man. He's such an asshole. I love you, Alpha, and I don't frequently say nice things to or about him.
Never. I would use the term never.
He might shit his pants when he hears this, but Alpha, you did a great job not being the most misogynistic on the last podcast.
You did. You only called us bitches or broads, once?
Yeah, the rest of them were fucking it up.
I know.
So congrats, Alpha.
You
win.
Thought?
You win.
Morgan Freeman gets accused of sexual assault and Alpha becomes nice.
The world is turning on its fucking axis.
No. But I do want to start off because I know the guys have talked about it a lot, but the hashtag #MeToo movement, I feel like the guys have given a pretty good perspective on, what it means to them and how they feel about it. But I think as girls, what does it mean to you? Because I know it is primarily a feminist movement. Even though I know guys have been affected by it too, but what are your guys' thought? Do you think, let me ask you kind of like a probing question, but do you think that this is the appropriate time, or do you think this is just us as a whole society becoming super sensitive to this stuff?
I mean, I don't think that we were sensitive enough before, because when I think about just reflecting back on things that have happened to me, especially in the workplace, my first job, I had just a creepy boss, and he was 70 years old, and he made jokes about dating me, and he was literally older than my father, and it was just
that would make me uncomfortable.
There were so many examples that I could go into, but now when I look back on it, I'm why did I let that? It kind of takes it. Kind of have to look back in retrospect to realize how messed up it was. I had an actual person refer to himself as Hot Tub Dave.
Hot Tub Dave
come up to me at my place of business.
Was he a 300-pound man?
And no, he was just a gross old guy that was friends with my boss, and it was.
But do you think now, looking back on it, so the appropriate thing to do is either tell, if you have another superior that you report to, or literally go to HR? So what do you think you would have done, either or do you think you just probably would have let it slide still?
I think it's hard to say because it was a small business, so my boss was, the
main.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's how shitty it is, though, right? You don't have anyone else to turn to, and it's okay.
There's no outlet.
I can either just live with the uncomfortableness, or I can make it more uncomfortable by making it known at work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, well, she's the one that said it was inappropriate.
I mean, even
Let's
now,
HR step in.
But no, it does. You do bring a negative connotation on yourself sometimes when you do speak up. So I personally think, good for the women that are stepping out.
Totally.
For sure.
I do believe, though, there's a distinguished factor between getting a cat call, which is still, it's still rude. It's still inappropriate.
Yeah, you can move on with your life.
Right.
But, I was just saying, even now, the fact that I am hesitant to bring up, I'm oh, well, I don't want to say anything that would identify this person. I'm he was the one who was 70 years old, being a creep to me when I was 22. Mm-hmm. Why am I, I guess still apprehensive to bring attention to this. So I don't think that people are too sensitive about it, because I think the majority are still in the mindset oh, I don't want to cause any waves, I'm just gonna move on with my life, nothing that bad happened to me. Did I get raped in a closet at work? But should that be the standard for that bad?
It needs to be severe before you speak out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Do you seriously have to be pulled into a closet and like assaulted before you say something,
like
before,
physically touched in a way.
Exactly. Before you're, call attention to your.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's tricky because you do hear about celebrities that have gone through like, he said something inappropriate to me versus celebrities like, I mean, freaking Bill Cosby's victims, like being drugged and taken advantage of, which is, I mean, it's all terrible, but it's on a different scale.
And I think it depends on, again, it's one of those issues that is like, depends on it's case by case, but like if it happens every single day and it's like, multiple things are like said about like your body and like, I was like, one of my purposes was like in sales and it was like, use like your looks and like your 22-year-old body to like sell this. And I'm like, if that is like the main message and you're going to work every day, then that's a problem. If 7-year-old guy like says something that is just kind of like offhand and inappropriate, move on with your life. Like
if it's like a one-time occurrence,
I mean, it's still not good. And like he should know better. He's still like an adult person that should treat people with respect. But
and I mean, it affects people differently. Like some people really will just look at an occurrence. Like, I mean, Cassie and I said this, I think on a couple podcasts, like how many times looking back do you think we were probably objectified? And like we knew it was going on, but it wasn't enough to bother me versus like if I'm having a one-on-one with my boss and I feel like not that like if I don't flirt back or something, like this has never happened to me. I'm not saying this, but like if you don't flirt back, like it's a bad sign. Like they're going to give you a terrible review or something. Like there are some women that live in that kind of fear.
Yeah.
So there is a difference.
So me looking at everything and being in HR as I am, like there's, to me, coming from like just hanging out with friends and like seeing people, because like we always get catcalled, we always do all that stuff, and it's like, to me it's different. The way that people think are different. Some they're oversensitive, but like in a workplace, I just want to throw it out there, like each company does have an open door policy, and if you don't feel comfortable, they also have a hotline. So I just want people to know that you can reach that out, and they do have a non-retaliation rule as well.
Is it anonymous, like when you call in and stuff?
Yeah, so you can do anonymous too, and I mean, they're going to take care of the situation. So I'm just throwing that out there as like a helpful tip if anybody does feel uncomfortable at work about that.
That's good.
Yeah, because it is definitely uncomfortable, and who wants to live in that society? But I'm glad that the Me Too movement is now starting, because I don't want to compare it to the glass ceiling in a way, because women are still making less, but we're kind of in this sexual setting, we're kind of breaking that and shattering it, and saying that what happened in the past, it's not going to happen to us now, and we're going to put a stand to it.
You still see in like TV sitcoms or movies, like the actress does get paid less and they are protesting. And like to us, it's funny, like, oh my God, you're getting 7 million versus 8. But like, no, that's their profession. If they're doing the same exact thing as, the actor or the leading man of the show or movie, why the hell are they going to make more? Like, you wouldn't be desirable if I wasn't in the role desiring you throughout the movie.
Right.
Vice versa. So, I mean, equality, I think, has really emerged, and it's just sad because we thought we kind of already crossed that boundary years ago.
That's the thing, is we just keep coming back for more. But the sad thing is we're realizing how much more there is.
So I do have a question. Yeah. So Kylie mentioned that, like, like use your body, like to make sales, like do this, do that.
Yeah.
So I want to say, like, mostly for like, do people say that to guys as much as girls? Because I feel like girls are mostly like, girls can be attracted to girls. Like girls are going to admit like that girl's hot. That girl has a rockin' body. That guy's hot.
Yeah.
So why is it mostly subjectified to women and not as much as men?
I think with women, it's almost more so. I think it has to do like sales roles. Like, yes, I think in sales,
flirt. That is,
flirting.
That's not an instruction for men in sales, is not to flirt.
But they just do it. I feel
nobody
like it's
hears,
more,
like a male never hears that.
And nobody tells him what to wear exactly either.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to just dress nice. But as a girl, if you dress nice, that's still not enough.
Right.
It's like, why is that top button buttoned? Why is your skirt a little bit looser? You look boxy.
But then I also start thinking about like our society and what's put into media as well, because I'm not going to lie. Sometimes like if I want to get some free drinks, like I'll dress a little more like not provocative, but like show like maybe like a tighter shirt. Like
I think everyone's done that.
Right.
I think you'd be lying if you've never tried it.
So I guess I just lost my train of thought, but it's just like, I don't know, somebody else jump in, because I don't know.
I have a question. I think definitely we've all, well, that's the thing. It's like, well, if you feel confident in what you're wearing, like, there's guys that like
Yeah.
You know, they look good when they go to work, and like nobody tells them like, oh man, this pants really fitting you good today. Like, you know,
your
it's
nice
just,
black slacks look good.
Yeah, your butt's looking
I
big.
mean, yeah.
Look at that dick.
You do see dick outlines though on some pants.
100%.
Oh my gosh. No.
It's a hot piece of dick. Like nobody ever says that.
Hot piece
But
of dick.
no, I mean, I
You
think
will
it
never be in the ladies' bathroom and be like, oh, you see Jeff today, a hot piece of dick.
Did
Oh
you
my
see
God,
the
should we bring it to
outline
the
of his
workforce?
dick?
Let's bring it to the workforce. Maybe they'll have a Me Too movement.
I honestly think there have been more trainings for sexual
yeah.
harassment. It's definitely been more
yeah.
prevalent. Like our town hall, we talked about it during our HR town hall, and it was like, oh God, we're gonna sit through that. I hope we don't do role playing.
I think this is even like kind of the like sexual harassment in the workplace. Obviously an issue, not saying it's not, but that's, I feel like is like Me Too light. Like it's not even, you know what I mean? Like people, when you talk about Me Too, have a lot of, like everybody has a story where something like truly fucked up happened to them, and like you just kind of like get over it. Like
and sometimes it'll come back into your mind, but like I mean, if it is bothering you that much, you definitely should.
I'm thinking
never
just about
be
like in
embarrassed to say
college
anything.
and like,
Oh God,
so,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
The only thing that bugs it doesn't the Me Too movement doesn't bug me, but what bugs me is like I think we brought it up in a previous podcast when it was just the girls, is when girls dress to impress or show off their body and then they cry out like something like, oh, this guy's harassing me, but you're throwing it out there. So I think that's the only thing that bothers
That's also
me in
equivalent to on a very more like extreme level is like crying wolf, like being drunk and passing out and getting taken advantage of. Not that you should, but like there's a difference between that, like literally being blackout drunk, passing out and unconscious, versus like having sex with someone and saying it's rape when you regret it the next day. Like,
And I feel like
okay,
people
so
like
you're
just
saying,
knows.
I was going to say, I think that if you are passed out drunk and you wake up to somebody penetrating you,
that's rape.
Oh,
that's
okay. I was
straight
like,
up. No,
I
no,
would classify
that's
that as
straight up.
rape.
No,
That would be
that's straight
rape.
up. The difference between being like, no, I'm gonna have sex with him, and like you're drunk enough to have sex, like you're involved in the act of it, and then you wake up and you're like, fuck, I can't believe, like, you know what I mean, that happened, and then you.
But technically, like when it comes to consent, like you're really not able to consent.
Right. And then you don't give
So-
consent. But that's where it's murky waters, because I can actually see the guy's perspective where it's like, I was fucked, she was fucked. And like in college, do you always ask, so are you okay to have sex? Sometimes people will ask that. Do you even ever remember sometimes giving consent? You probably did, and they probably heard you.
Yeah.
I think a
sometimes you
lot
might
of
not
times
remember
people
it.
don't think it's like sexy to like ask for consent. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
guys,
if you're like hot and heavy in the moment, and then someone's like, "Hey, is this really going to be okay for you?
I mean, I'm not
Are
saying
you going to
have to,
hashtag
like,
Me Too tomorrow?" Like it's like it's not funny, but it's also like it's not sexy. It's not hot.
I agree. I think there are ways, there needs to be more like, I guess, bring attention to ways that you can do it that is just like low key. But
I think it's just hard
you know,
when you're not
like,
sober.
A simple like, you okay? And then like slide it in. Like,
Can I penetrate you, please?
or yeah, like you don't have to be weird about it. I mean, it sounds weird now, but just like, I mean,
consent is huge, though. I mean,
literally putting on condoms is weird, but we all know that's important. Like, do it when you're putting on the condom. Just bring all the weirdness.
like you good with it. Like, there's
all
a
in
way to
one
go around it.
swoop.
Like, hey, this is about to be an awkward 30-second transition. So while we're here,
And I'm sure
You're fine.
everybody-
I have an NDA.
And I'm sure everybody's had an awkward conversation during sex or like said like weird things.
yeah,
So
Like,
Is that
weird-
going to be the
Also,
most
like,
awkward thing you
noises.
say?
I've
Probably
said
not.
worse.
sex is like kind of awkward anyway. Like,
I was just gonna
I
say,
mean,
like,
you're
it-
fumbling around. There's a lot of parts. It's
Asking
in and
like, is
around.
this okay? Is not more awkward than like when your stomach makes that weird like fart sound when he like slaps against you.
Or if you're
And everyone
queefing.
knows exactly.
Or if you're
what I'm talking
queefing.
Queefing is the worst.
Yeah, exactly. Like, is
If you can handle queefing and stomach flapping, you can fucking ask for consent. Okay.
exactly.
It's not that fucking hard.
No, I think just in general, I wanted to touch on it because it is different, you know, being the accuser versus like getting accused. So
I have a situation, and this truly happened.
Oh,
to a
God.
friend, not like so my friend, but this is like those gray areas we're talking about. So my friend goes home with this guy who's like, they're friends. You know what I mean? Like actually just like friends. And she is blackout drunk. And basically he tries to have sex with her. She's like, no, we're friends. Like you guys all have that friend that you're like,
That always tries with you?
Not always tries, but like a friend in college, not now because we're adults. Like, who puts up with that now? But like,
Nobody.
Ain't nobody got time for that now. But you know what I mean? That it's like you're trying to sleep on the couch and he like keeps trying to like cuddle you and you're just like, get away from me. But like, whatever.
I think there is that creepy friend in every group. I really do.
Sure.
And I mean, some of those guys just don't grow out of it.
So
take a hit. Buddy.
basically, he just doesn't. She says no multiple times, and I think that is like where the line should be. Like, you say no, just you need to take it for what it is.
Yeah.
And she told me, she's like, I basically just kind of like, I was so drunk and like tired that I just like
Let it happen?
literally I just laid there until it was over. And I'm like, that is
No, that's
Right?
pretty. I mean, that's like she's been saying no several times. And like, I would go as far to be like, no, that's.
And she's like, did I
I'd say that's
push him
partially
off?
right.
You know,
Yeah.
but I was just like exhausted and like over it at that point. So I just let it happen. I'm like,
But
I
that is
don't
taking
think you
advantage of her.
let it
She's not,
happen.
she doesn't have that control. Like, doesn't have full control of her body and her senses in that sense.
Yeah.
So no,
That's
I would,
terrible.
I would say that's, I mean, it's
I mean,
great, but
she
it's
told me that and it was
leaning-
like shocking me because I'm like, shit. Like, that could happen.
it's like a
to,
dark gray.
But I
leaning
feel like a
towards
lot of
black.
people have been in a situation like that,
or
which is
like,
why
you
it's so
could easily
scary.
envision it. You know
But
what I
that's
mean? Like,
harassment. Even okay,
Yeah.
let's say if you're not comfortable to use the term rape in that scenario, that's sexual harassment.
yeah.
There, it's
I mean, I'm
being, like,
comfortable using rape in that scenario. Like, the fact that it.
No, yeah,
happened to my
and that's why
friend,
I don't
like-
want to, like, I didn't want to be like, no, that's fucking for sure rape. But I think it is, but it is harassment. Like, it for sure is.
yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, she's literally said no several times. And
Yeah.
you're
I
like,
also
right.
can't really understand, like, I mean, I'm not a guy, I don't get it, but in that situation, like, if you have to beg someone and annoy them to have sex with you,
Yes.
like,
How
how do
low
you feel
can you
good
go-
about
Yeah.
that?
Right.
Like, how can you even get off to that? Because it's like she literally wanted nothing to do with having sex with you.
Do you want me to bring up Bryce from 13 Reasons?
No,
Because
I
I think
don't.
he represents this.
You know
whole
what?
nother-
All I'm saying is if a girl says no, just take your left or right hand, get some lotion.
That is what I'm saying.
and do it yourself.
You've been doing it since you were like 10.
I
So,
know.
like,
Oh my
it's old
gosh.
hat.
right.
I know.
Choke the
Exactly.
chicken.
Do it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think though it's a good thing that
the
it's
chicken?
happening. Chuck the chicken. Is that what you said?
Choke the chicken.
Oh, I think chuck the chicken.
Well, you can chuck it if
Detach
you
the
want.
dick. No, I think the Me Too movement is super important. I do think though you have to be smart about, if it bothers you, it bothers you, no matter how little it is. If it made you uncomfortable, you should tell somebody or at least make sure it doesn't happen again. If
yeah.
you're going to let the first instance slide by, but if you can remember how it made you feel, I think you should always, there are plenty of hotlines. There are plenty of people that will listen to you. And especially now,
Yeah.
there are many
Now's
people
the
that'll
time.
take you seriously. So
Yeah.
don't let it keep happening. If you
Us,
can put
girl code.
yes, yeah,
We'll listen.
but we'll kind of get off the heavy. Well, we're still gonna get pretty heavy because we're gonna fucking tear these guys apart from
Dun,
their
dun,
past
dun.
episode.
Wait,
I'm
Can I
ready to
just
fuck up their shit.
Transitioning into that, I thought it was actually, I wasn't even mad when I first listened to it. I was like, this is comical that they think that they have this much influence on what happens at the end of the night. Like the fact that they think that their game, when they were talking about like spitting game, I was like, the fact that you guys seriously think your game has that much influence on like what, if it's like a make or break, like the
No,
girl
Heineken
knows.
has plenty of influence in tequila.
Yes.
Well,
Not your
also,
game.
a girl knows going into the night before she even sees your face at the bar, like if she's gonna go home with somebody, you have that light on. You know what I mean?
Because you come
turn
in with a motive.
your
You kind of
light
do.
on, like,
Yeah.
and I mean, especially if you like know the person, like if you've been like kind of hanging out, texting, like
yeah.
you know what I mean? You're like, I'm gonna fuck him tonight. Like you say that when you're sober, like
Yeah.
to your friend when you're like about like when
You
you're
say that when
getting
you're
in the
scanning your
shower.
closet. Like this
the-
is something.
Exactly.
This is fuckable.
Exactly. The fact that they think whatever like
No,
cheesy
we go
line,
into
we don't
it.
even remember what they like say to us at the bar, and you're just like, okay.
And half the
Yeah.
time, their game is annoying.
That's what I was
Very
telling
annoying.
Sumie. I'm like, I respect their opinions, and
Yeah,
they
we
can,
do, by
they
the
can
way. We do.
think what they want to think, and that's fine. Just you do you. But here's the thing, no, because just no. And I was telling Sumie too. I'm like, they think all these things, and that's one thing. But they also like, I guarantee after this episode, like, no offense to any of you, but you're gonna listen, and whether you say it to us or you say it to each other, like, you're going to be like, well, that's not what they really think. Like, that's not what they really, and it's like, well, I'm not sure who you are to tell us, but we're here to tell you
Because just like you guys talk that way, we talk this way.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you, I don't know about you guys, but I have never been at the bar and been like, wow, I was going to go home and, you know, like get on my fuzzy pajamas tonight, but now that line was so good. Or like you know, like shitty vodka soda he just got me just really put me in the mood. And like now I'm going to go home with
The
him.
fact that he splurged for the vodka soda.
Oh my God. Like, no, girls, like,
Oh my
there's
God,
you
extra
can
line,
swoon over somebody.
Definitely going home. Like, no, you know when you're going to go home.
If you
do.
get me 2 straws, it's a game.
Get 2 straws. Not
No,
the skinny.
that's bad
Not
for the
2
ocean.
skinny
He
ones,
has to
but
care
2
about
fat
the
ones.
environment.
Oh, well, fat ones. Maybe if they're, well, no. I'd rather have them.
But I mean, in general, like I agree. Like I don't think
Subject.
guys will truly be able to think like girls, and I don't think girls will be able to think like guys. But Cassie and I also kind of pointed this out, and she'll probably explain it better because she put it in terms better. But it's the way that they took ownership and were possessive about girls versus how we talk about guys, because we don't always say like my guy or something.
Right.
Like we don't talk like that. You know?
I was also telling Sumie, like, it is the possessiveness. Like, the whole episode, I felt like they were just like, these are my bitches.
Yes.
And I'm like, first of all, nobody's your bitch. If we're being honest, y'all are bitches. With the most respect. But seriously, like, it was just like, well, if my bitch were cheating on me, then it's over for her. Well, if she's cheating on you, it was already over for her. Like, you are done.
Yeah.
And the thing is I was saying, like, we might be like, we get possessive too. I'm not going to sit here and say that we don't.
for sure do.
Because there are certain times where people are like, well, I mean, he's my man. Like, there's no way that she should be talking to him, blah, blah, blah. Like, that does happen. I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't.
It
But
for
here's
sure
the other
does.
thing. I was telling Sumie, like, we treat the possessiveness as like, I'm earning it. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm claiming you to be mine, I'm doing things that
I'm
earn
treating you
that.
like a king.
Like, I have given you mutual respect, and like, I am only being faithful, like, to you, and I'm only like, it's like,
I'm giving you a blowjob 5 days a week.
but
after
for them,
my
it's
job.
like, you're my bitch, but also like, I'm detached. So
Yeah.
like, you can't do any of that, but also like, well, I'm gonna just do me. So like, that's fine though.
If you're giving a blowjob 5 days a week, you can do whatever you want. You can put that man on like a collar for like 5 days a week is like a lot.
Frank, come here. Let's get you a harness.
Are you trying to blow my dog?
No, I'm getting his.
okay.
Okay, we're not getting into bestiality this episode.
That's for another episode.
No, but actually,
No.
that is a good way to talk about like cheating, for instance. You, Kylie, you probably remember that episode. I kind of talked to Mallory about it, but it also was not just this girl code episode, but it was another guys episode that they did.
Why would
This
I
is what
remember it?
happens.
Because you think I'm like a super fan or something?
Kylie does listen to the podcast, hence why we brought her on the show.
Super fan.
But no, this is what happens when I go out of town. The guys have their takeovers, and I'm like,
And
no.
then the
I
best
round up
comes.
the girls, and I'm like, all right, we're doing our
We
episode.
stepped away for one episode.
But no, they talk about. So, and I'll ask you guys all this because this is going to be kind of an open for discussion, but it's like the reasons why girls cheat and why guys cheat. And I will right now say this, Cassie, say the famous line that you said. All these fucking black dudes on our last podcast say black guys don't ever cheat. Cassie, what was your rebuttal to that? No, they don't ever cheat because they don't ever stay in relationships.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, and
I
I'm
love
not
you, Driss.
stereotyping.
Wait,
That's
I'm
just
kidding
what
about
they
Driss.
said.
I thought that was sarcastic when they said.
They say it, but we're obviously going to be sarcastic back. But
They
Wait,
just
no, I thought they were being sarcastic when they said that. I took that as like sarcastic.
you never
All
know with
dudes,
them.
like, I
you never
mean,
know.
Cheat. I feel like have the capacity to cheat. You
I
can't
think
say
all
like,
humans have the
everybody,
capacity to
everybody
cheat.
does.
Exactly.
But
That being said, I like also have never been cheated on, so I don't.
do you know that for sure?
I mean, not for sure, but like,
you've never like encountered it.
Like, or confronted somebody
I'm
about?
also just the type of person, like you said earlier, like if you're cheat, like it's just already done. You know what I mean? Like I just
Yeah.
cut my losses. Like I don't understand
But-
people staying in these like.
Right, but that's the thing. It's
broken.
that's how you feel. So I think guys, they kind of expressed the reason why they think girls cheat versus why guys cheat, and they said girls do it out of spite. So it's more so like they're not getting. I think there's a
They
thing about
don't
just
talk
like,
about why guys cheat
They
because
didn't
they
go into
don't cheat.
detail.
Wink, wink, wink.
they explain it, but they didn't go into detail about it.
These girls are just
but
bitches.
why do you think a girl would cheat? Why do you guys think a girl would cheat? What would cause a girl?
Like
Not you, but a
anybody.
girl.
Like I don't know. I think that there's different like.
Could be just the guys. They're just in it like to have a relationship. Like
Wait, what?
I think girls
They're
should
into
cheat.
cheating for the
Are there
relationship.
different reasons for why girls and guys would cheat? Like,
they said
are there
that there
reasons
was.
that are specific to girls
I
and
don't-
reasons that
I
are
think
specific to
Girls
guys?
that just jump from relationship to relationship just want to be in the relationship. So then they're like, well,
It's easier
I
to
don't even
cheat.
like you. So I'm going to
I just liked the idea
Yeah.
of being with somebody.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. There's definitely girls like that.
Well, and I think also one of the things that they brought up, which I think is true for some girls, I think are mature enough to be like, I'm just going to either end it before I cheat,
Which you should always do.
which you should always do, or you either go on a break or end it, whatever you want to use for terms. But they're just not getting. They don't feel like their man is there for them. They're not getting the attention. They don't feel like they're appreciated enough. And it is a form of feeling appreciated, is being desired by another man. And I think, girls say this all the time when girls break up. Obviously, you need time to yourself, but the best way to get over, one man is to get under another. And like that happens. That's kind
I'm
of
a
insane.
big proponent of that, but I think you should do that.
After you've taken your time. Right.
Yeah.
But
I also
Same day, that's fine. But
If you're over it as soon as you walk out the door,
And
to each
you
their
Uber
own.
back to your house.
yeah,
is your
just
time
cut
to
your
say.
losses. And okay, that being said, I also haven't been in a new relationship or anything like that for the past 4 years. So
Right. But
I'm
if
a
you think back
little-
in college, what were you going to say?
back
Adele?
in the day.
I think people also cheat. Is like if they're just like they want to end it, they're like, well, he hasn't really done anything, or I haven't done anything, so how can I just end it? And then just-
But how shitty is that? Like, grow the fuck up. If you're done with it, just because you're like, it doesn't have to be like, well, that was terrible because of that. Like, just
I'm
be
so
like,
sorry,
listen,
babe.
this
I
isn't
really
gonna
loved
like.
you.
What's the point? Like,
There are some
we're not
people-
going anywhere after this. So what's
No, but
why?
there are some people that, I know of somebody who is, and this was her way of explaining to me how it happened, but she was in a long-term relationship and, they basically had a pet, and that was kind of like the reason.
a dog.
I think it was actually a cat. But
even worse.
Glad we're all on the same page.
I'm gonna be very unbiased.
That
So
cat
like,
needs
let's
to
say it
go.
was a dog. No, let's just say it was a dog. So
Okay,
we're all
now I
dog
can
lovers
relate.
here. So the dog was super sick the past year and a half of their relationship, and like it was one of those like they were living together and it was sick, and so that's how she described it. She's just like, it was just like almost like how parents stay together for. They don't want to be divorced for their kids, so they push through a marriage. And I'm not, that's just a scenario of why a girl might cheat, because she's thinking, okay, I'm giving it my all, but like maybe if I see what life is like with somebody else without losing what I have, I'm going to do it and then see if I can come back to what I can. I personally think
so you're gonna
you will
cheat
never
when
be
you
able
have
to.
like a sick child.
I mean,
I will also want to say when you brought up the sick dog, me and Cassie literally locked eyes. We're like, okay, yep.
No, it makes sense.
Totally
now.
get it.
I get it.
Yeah.
My rebuttal to that is people or families that have sick kids and they're still divorced.
Yeah.
they do.
And
no,
it-
and
and
the
it
mature
works
thing
out.
is to
Also,
just take it to
I
court.
just want to put in a note that we are not comparing a sick dog to like a sick
No.
child.
No, but okay, in your point, in
In
your
our
life, when
lives,
you're or
maybe.
in your early
Yeah.
20s,
Honestly,
Not.
like,
God damn it.
well, first of all, when I in my
Tipsy over there.
life, when I got the dog, I made sure he was in my name in case anything happened, because I was like,
This is my dog.
this is my dog. Like, I have a full custody of him, like, no matter
well,
what.
but I mean, right, but like people in marriages, you can't take full custody of your child in the marriage. I don't know, actually, maybe you can do that
well,
Full custody.
in a marriage.
That's what it's
yeah,
called.
that's what it is. Yeah, it's called that.
I guess so. I
the
didn't
legal
really think.
term, full custody.
But I mean, that's why I think girls do have a different emotional reasoning to do it. Now, why do you think guys would cheat though? Why do you
They're
guys
bored.
think?
Yeah, they're bored.
They're
Yeah.
looking for something better.
They're always on the look.
They're
Honestly,
horny.
I think
they think
don't
with their
man
dick.
the fuck up and just break up with the girl, because if you're like gonna cheat on her, like it's already
What's the
over.
point?
Just like, I think honestly, a lot of times that is the problem for the guys. They just don't man the fuck up. Like,
And just to be like, I'm
and they're
not-
like, oh, her cat is sick, so I can't break up with her now. And then it's like, oh, well,
Her
it was
birthday's
her
next
grandma,
week.
her
Yeah.
grandma's birthday. Like, and I'm like,
oh
but then
shoot,
oh my
Valentine's
God.
Day is
Just because
364
guys,
days.
you know what, guys,
break up
they
for the
don't
holidays. You
feel-
save money.
Yeah,
True.
that's true.
It's not like they feel sad that they're being. It's not like, oh, she's gonna be in so much pain.
They don't want to
Like,
deal with it.
No, they just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
They're so passive.
Well,
they're like, I just don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to get like
Drunk calls and
Yeah.
texts where she's
I
sobbing
just don't
all
want her to
night.
scream at
And
me.
I'm sorry,
And I'm
men.
like,
You
oh
do
my
the same
God.
thing.
Yeah.
You blow our phones up because
Yeah.
girls are better about being
Oh.
like, block your number, give me your phone. Your boys won't do that to you. They'll let you just go to a strip club. Meanwhile, when Big Booty Judy's bouncing on you, he's texting with his right hand far off the side.
Right.
So
I also feel like they might cheat because they are they like to have their cake and eat it too. So maybe they are in a relationship where they're like happy and they're like, yeah, maybe this is going somewhere and she's a great girl. But then, you know, maybe there's like a girl with bigger tits. And so like it might be fun for 30 minutes.
Or she's like a perky 22-year-old.
Or like,
and
or like she's probably super
26-year-old.
tight. And it's like, okay, but that's not.
You made me lose.
You did this.
You did this.
Okay, I was just about to say, like, if you are like in a relationship where the sex isn't where like you want to, like, if it's just subpar,
Yeah.
that's a problem. Like, and you're like, that's not a good relationship.
But it could be you too, because how do you know? Like, I agree.
Like you're probably
you
having
might-
subpar
compatible.
sex with the girl you're cheating with too. It's
Yeah.
you.
She's probably unhappy with her boyfriend as well, or the guy she's messing with. So
Wait,
you
why
all
is
are just having
everyone cheaters
subpar
in this
sex.
situation?
Well, here's-
Is there
here's
no
my-
one single? Like,
Exactly. Here's my thing. If you like a girl and you want to be in a relationship, be in that relationship. But if you're still like unsure, don't go in that relationship because you think the girl wants it. That's what the girl wants and you want to make the girl happy.
She wants you to know what you want. That's what a
Exactly.
girl wants. She doesn't
Yeah.
want you to
Well,
half-ass step into her.
wait, can we transition? I think this is like, also, we can leave this for I really want to know the guys' like opinion on this. For me, maybe it's because I'm a girl, but when
You
I
are a girl.
am,
not
I said
maybe.
maybe I have this opinion because I'm a girl.
99.9.
But for me, I have better sex when I'm in, or at least when I like know the person. Like,
Oh, for
I'm gonna have it,
sure.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because you can just get weird. Like,
Because
and
you
it's
can
not-
be awkward and it's cute.
Because you can do like
not-
horny things and then sit on the couch and watch TV after and not feel like, oh my God, I want to die.
Or like if you
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
something and it's like just not.
It
Or you
doesn't
can
work.
ask if you
It
want to
doesn't
have
work,
sex.
then you can just be like, all right, cut
Or like
it.
when to leave.
Like-
Like, okay, like, oh God, am I going to leave now? Or is he
that's the
gonna
most
think,
awkward
like,
part.
Should I linger for 20 minutes and then leave? It's like, if you're going to go, just fucking go.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
No, I think so
when,
too.
I don't know anybody who literally just has sex with a stranger and just gets like weird as hell. I was like, oh, that was the best sex of my life. Like the first time you have a sex with a guy, like. when
But
you've
wouldn't
been
you go
talking to him.
back? But if you're
always
going back
awkward.
to him, that's different. But if that was like the one sexcapade that you remember,
But maybe that makes them appreciate sex with the relationship. I'm not defending it. Holy
True.
fuck, that sounds like I'm like, but like that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's their thought process.
Yeah.
Is like, yeah, I'm gonna have this sex and it's gonna be like, ooh, because she's like new and we don't have chemistry, or it's like weird. And then when I have sex with my girlfriend, it's gonna be like fucking great.
well, and I think
Maybe
there is
have an
no,
abstinence
Just when you
toys.
brought up the
I mean-
mediocre sex with like the cheating, I'm like, wait, yeah, like isn't all sex with like, you know, the first person, like the first time, like kind of mediocre?
It's not like world rocking.
I mean,
the
there's a
first
difference though when
time.
you're having sex with fucking Pee Wee Herman or Reggie Bush over there, because you know.
But maybe there's
one of them-
not. We don't know. We haven't had sex with either one of them.
That is
Oh my
true.
God, Sumie, you had sex with Pee Wee?
Pee Wee Herman.
What's it like?
Pee Wee.
That was actually not funny.
You
I don't know why we
definitely
found that
better-
so funny, but it was. No, but I mean, no, you're right. I think that here's the thing. I think women can easily have detached sex, you know, unbeknownst to men. But
Oh, I've had detached sex. It just wasn't the best sex of my life.
it's not the
Right.
best
It was
sex of your life. The
detached.
best sex of your life are the ones that are super intimate, and a one night stand is not super intimate.
I'm not
Unless
even
it's
saying you need to like
premeditated.
light candles and like release butterflies afterwards. Like I literally am just saying like if you're just comfortable with
Kylie
somebody,
over here just spreads her legs and butterflies are flying.
If there are butterflies anywhere around the vicinity, I don't know what to
We'll
do.
fuck your shit up.
Like-
You're not gonna put bugs in the bedroom, motherfucker.
Larva.
the
No.
word intimate. Like I'm just saying if you
Lightning
have regular sex with a person and you're comfortable with them, you can just get weird.
Yeah.
And like it just is the best. Like
But I feel like, you know what was so funny, and you remember this, like in college, like if any of our girlfriends are like, oh, like I just want to have sex, but I want my number to go up. Fucking recycle. I always say
Exactly.
that. I'm like, recycle.
yeah.
That irritates my soul.
Just don't
that you
get your
brought it
numbers
up. No, I always say that all the time, and people are like, "Well, he was an asshole." Yeah, but I'm going to reduce, reuse,
But he
and
was
recycle.
also in my asshole.
Yeah, so
Actually, you know what, Lulu, this is a good one for you. To
Also,
our
wait,
next,
before that, if your sex sucks, go to the sex and get sex toys.
Go to
And-
the
Go to the sex. It's a location. Look
Honestly,
it
I
up
feel
on
like
the
you need
map.
to reevaluate like
Yeah.
yourself, your relationship, your life. Like
toys,
if you are
watch
having
porn,
bad
the
sex,
lube.
especially when you're our age. Like okay, if you're 50 and like
We shouldn't be having bad sex. We really shouldn't.
No.
seriously, we're in the prime. Like okay,
Lazy sex
so
should even
I had a
feel
girl
great.
when I was in college. I lived in a sorority house. There were a lot of weird bitches in there. Just throwing that out there.
Touche.
Like she had all these sex toys, and we were like 21 years old. I'm like, what the fuck do you need that? Like, not even 21 yet.
like, do you need that when
20.
you're
I'm
21?
like, why do
That
you
many
need
of them?
all this lube? Like, I'm
We did though from our pure romance party. Lube is very, very healthy.
But I would
it wasn't just
argue that we
lube.
preach
I'm
that,
not-
and I guarantee that none of
I
us are
bought
still
lube
using
and I've
lube.
never used it.
No, bitch keeps hitting me up every week. Like,
Okay, she had like full on dildos, nipple clamps, like all this shit. And she's like, I
Nipple
need to keep it
clamps.
spicy. I just remember she's like, I just want to keep it spicy. I'm like,
is she,
I don't
was
know
she
about
dating
you,
your
but,
high
like,
school
I'm spicy
sweetheart?
as hell. Like I'm 20.
Spicy as hell.
Like
Spicy
I
as
am,
hell.
Chili
you
pepper.
know, I mean,
Well,
like,
was she dating? Has she been dating somebody for a while going into college, or is
no,
this like
that
for her
was
one
just
night stands?
No, that was just like that was her. Like when they.
Bitch, you mean to tell
She
me
would
your
just
one
have
night stands
sex
need
with
nipple
people, and that
clips?
was just
If
yeah.
somebody came up to me for a one night stand and brought me nipple clips, I think I would run away.
I mean,
would
you know
too.
what? Again, maybe she waited till the third day to bring out the nipple clips. I don't know. I wasn't there.
You don't bring out
but
bondage on the first night.
You don't bring out bondage unless you're very comfortable. They're not going to run around telling people you're fucking psycho.
Have you seen Gerald's Game? Has anyone seen Gerald's Game on
that is
Netflix?
so
Also-
They are about to have sex, and she ties him up, and he has a heart attack and passes out in the cabin where no one's around.
How old is he though?
I mean,
They're both the same.
he
He's
was
old.
pretty old.
He was a
but-
silver fox, though.
Again,
and they were married.
When
I'm
you're
saying.
like 50 and you know, want to
Right.
like do that shit. Okay, if you're 20, you want to do that shit, more power to you. I'm just saying, I don't think you need to do that. Like, if you're like, oh, we really got to spice up our sex life, and you're like in your 20s, like, there is a problem.
Also, your first time, like, obviously it can be premeditated. It may not be, but it's also in the sense of like, it should be spontaneous, where it is spicy enough that the impulsiveness of both of you, like, going at it is enough for you.
Yeah.
Like, your first time. Again, if it's happened plenty of times and you're just like, all right, let's spice things up, that's so different. But yeah, like, if your first time's not spicy, something else is not heating up.
But then I also think sex for the first time is also awkward. So you kind of always have to go back and give it a second try.
But no, that's different than bringing out toys
Agreed.
your first time, though, because you're already inviting the awkwardness in the first time.
Unless you're just ripping the Band-Aid off,
Yeah.
you know? And you're like, yo, we're about to be fucking awkward. Let's do it with
Yeah,
a
but
big
if I don't
dildo.
know the
That
guy,
is
I'm not
true.
ripping
Actually,
any
maybe
Band-Aids off and getting infected.
I mean, if you're going to let him penetrate you regardless, whether it's fucking vanilla-ass sex or with a bunch of bondage, I feel like you're at risk.
True.
That's actually true. Maybe
Yeah.
she kind of unlocked the secret and like she's just super comfortable and was like, look, this is what I like. So
maybe she
this
uses
is what we're
True.
gonna
Maybe
do.
that's what
Female
needs to happen.
Christian Grey shit.
Because I also
Maybe.
feel like maybe it's awkward for us because we're not saying like, hey, this is what I like and don't even fucking try this. We're just kind of like,
Yeah, but haven't you ever
Oh,
your first time,
you don't
not
do
your
that?
first time losing your virginity,
The
but
first
say
time?
stuff. Yeah. You
There's
never-
like things that like,
I mean, yeah.
That's
like,
what
okay,
you
I'm just gonna come out and say it. Like, if anybody goes near my butt, like, I'm like, nope.
Finger
nope,
up the
nope,
butt is a
nope,
must,
nope.
though.
Oh my-
Agreed.
Are you serious?
Finger up the butt is a must.
Try it one time.
Just
Yeah.
try
No,
it.
like,
She's no,
Guys.
no.
Get
Exit
little
only.
Jayford's thumb up the butt. I'm telling you.
okay,
it's a
again,
little
it's not like
circle.
I haven't. It's just no, it's a deal breaker. I can't. So you guys don't have things where you're like absolutely fucking not like on the first time.
No.
dick.
I would never
No.
do anal with somebody for the first time.
Oh
Pink
my
socked.
god.
Pink sock.
Who
The
are
first time?
Yeah, no.
that is a
People
serial
do that?
killer trait.
No, that is.
Like
you are a serial killer
I
if you like it
have
up
had
the
this
butt the first
conversation with
time.
a lot of people.
Serial killer.
Everybody has a trait where if they, were a serial killer, you'd be like, yes, I should have known because they only liked the strawberry Pop-Tarts with no icing, like a serial killer.
Okay, that
If
is
you
serial
have
killer shit.
anal sex on the first time with a guy, you are a serial killer.
That's not even like vanilla or chocolate. That's like Rocky Road shit.
What? What was that?
I'm never eating Rocky Road ice
A
cream
bumpy
again.
road.
Oh, gross.
oh my god, I just don't.
Yeah, don't imagine. It's okay. But
Oh man,
I will backtrack though and kind of because we do need to transition into the next one. And it's kind of going off of like Lulu, we were talking about this. But when you need to tell your friends, so when alcohol is in play and there's two different scenarios, at what point, based off girl code, do you not let your homie like text the no in your phone? Like the do not text, do not call, do not, connect with, associate, whatever when drinking. And at what point do you say like, she's a grown ass woman? I'm not
Okay.
gonna do
gonna
it.
Well, here's
do
the
it
thing.
anyway.
Yeah. We're all like, wait a minute.
She's
What the
literally
fuck?
gonna do it anyway. I think we are all like
How many attempts? Okay,
grown ass women. You just need to
how
be
many
like,
attempts would you put? Like, if you're texting
One.
your ex, one attempt and
One.
then done. So what if? Okay, now
wait, one attempt from as her
For what?
friend to
As her
like stop
friend.
her. Like, no, stop.
I would just be like, you don't want to do that. don't fucking do it. And then if she does it anyway, I'd be like, yep, I knew you were going to do it anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
and there is no effort like a drunk bitch like
On a
No,
mission.
she's
trying to
not
get the
ruthless.
D. Like there is
No.
literally will like scale a wall. Like I
No,
don't
she
know.
is. A drunk girl is more powerful than any girl in this fucking planet.
I agree.
I'm telling you.
She
And
will
more
literally get a
manipulative.
stranger's phone, like Facebook request that guy, and then like Facebook message that guy.
Yeah.
Look
Create a
you up,
LinkedIn
question mark.
page, find out who their boss is. I swear to God, this is very I've never done this, but imagine
That
like
would be
something
Well, I'm
so
really good at
fucking
creeping, so I don't even need to say.
I mean, we all are. It's like in
Yeah.
our genes.
But so, okay, then here's my question. How hard would you try if it was like an ex where they have this history with
Not hard at
versus
all.
like a hookup that just treats them like crap? Like in Bridesmaids, you know,
I'm
she
gonna go
keeps
with
going
the
back to John
same
Hamm.
one attempt.
One
Not
attempt.
hard. Yeah, just because I think honestly, a lot of girls make this mistake like when we were younger, like, you know, freshman year of college.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you're like, oh my God, no, he's like not good for you. And like, and then all of a sudden you're like screaming with your friend, like outside of like a house on Summit. And you're just like,
I don't need that childish shit.
and then it just doesn't do anybody any good. Like, it's, you know,
I've literally
she's
had
gonna
the girls,
do whatever
Danny,
she's gonna
Jazz,
do.
Emma, Shahad, I'm telling you, all broke into the house and tried to climb up the window. Little Emma tried to climb up the window. I was on the 4th floor trying to break me out from making a mistake. Did I stop? No, I didn't.
That
See, that's what I'm saying.
too
Why put in
much.
maximum effort
So
for minimum
here's-
result?
Here's
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've been there. You were all there. It's dear Lord.
Our nights with Lulu.
Well, what is
Thank God I
the
cried.
worst thing that's going to happen?
Yeah, they're
She
either
just
not
has
going to
sex with him again, and she's going to be sad.
Yeah,
And then she's
going
gonna cry, but she was probably gonna cry regardless.
Yeah, but then
so
there's
like,
always
meh.
something. I think there's
Agreed.
always something going on, like whether you know it or not, because I didn't know. Like there's something that's still there. Or you need to actually like figure it out for yourself. That
And it is
Actually
different for
done.
you than it is for
Yeah,
someone
and
else.
it's done.
It is
So,
super
like,
different.
You might think that there's still some unfinished business, or like, you know what? If you're going to text them every weekend, like 10 times in a row, and they don't answer, and you still don't see it, you're going to realize it you're going to realize it soon.
I think it does take you to realize it.
I
on your
also
own.
think that like part of girl code is like being a good friend, yes, but it's also realizing that you can't be a hypocrite. So like maybe that was you
you
2
would do
years
it.
ago,
Yeah.
you know, and you didn't listen and you did it and then you moved
Maybe that
on,
was
or
you
maybe
last
it's going to
week.
be you next year or tomorrow. But it's like they just have to do what they're going to do. And like, yeah, I'm going to let you know, like, I don't think it's a good idea and I hope you don't get hurt, but you're going to do what you're going to do.
Yeah, and I
I
think
agree.
honestly, part of like the biggest part of girl code is being there for them, like after it happens, like
because you will be in their shoes probably the following weekend
Well,
or
yeah, and
10
like
years
she's
from
gonna
then.
do it regardless. I think we all established that. And then if you're just there to watch Friends and like eat ramen the next day, then like that's
Yeah.
a good friend.
And
but
it's just so annoying when girls.
unless he literally is like, I don't know, like beating her or something, then like
Yeah, that's a whole
I will
other-
bring out the bats.
I will tie her
my
up
Oh,
and say,
fuck
yeah.
somebody up.
Oh my
that's.
God.
I mean, that was extreme. But
But we all know where we
I
stand.
was like, okay, we're all gonna fuck a bench up for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if it's just like a douchey guy, and it's like, meh, she's gonna do it anyway. So
yeah, but it's
whatever.
almost like, I mean, yeah, she is a grown ass woman. Like, what are you gonna do? Really though, what are you gonna do? But you're right. You're a good friend for how you react afterwards.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest one because like I never really realized like I mean no matter what, like when my friends like do that, I'm always going to be there for them. But I hate it when girls are like, well, I'm not going to deal with it anymore because I told you no, and I've told you no over and over.
because you're
Again,
probably gonna do
serial
it.
killers.
Though.
Who has honestly ever done like
Serial killer.
Especially if you're like, if you call him, don't ever talk to me again. It's like, all right, bitch, bye.
No,
Okay,
unless
I
he's
never
like
got that again.
fucked.
College, like bitches were crazy back in college. I don't know.
Yeah,
Bitches are still crazy, but yeah, they really let it fly in college.
we're just disguised in our professional
But,
attire, 9 to
like,
5.
Who actually, when girls would, I don't know. I didn't actually ever have like a lot of relationships like that or friends that did that because I'd be like, bye. But I'm like, are you obsessed with me? Like, are you a lesbian? Like, why can't I hang out with him and like be your friend? Like, that is the weirdest thing to me.
What?
That is the weirdest thing to me when girls are like, if you ever talk to him again, like, don't expect me to be your friend. I'm like, what?
Yeah, why do you
Get
care?
over
Why are
your
you so
high horse.
invested? I should
Like,
say.
unless again, like if he like beat you or something, and then you know you don't want to. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the guy has to be like, he has to do something pretty fucked up for you to be like, oh, I have a question, and this is like nothing.
questions.
Plan B. How do you guys make sure, as a friend, would you ever help them out, or would you guys make sure that they ask the guy, or like they have to pay for it, like
For
or
what?
Plan B?
What do you do?
I'm not paying for her plan.
No,
B.
not you,
I
but
mean,
like, are
maybe
you
not.
gonna?
The
No.
damn hell?
You did it.
You had that dick inside.
Maybe
of
on
you,
like
not
if you're
me.
getting paid next week and you can like Venmo me back. Like
We didn't have Venmo like what our freshman sophomore year of college.
I'm not that old.
We didn't have it.
I always had Venmo.
Shut the fuck up.
I had Venmo since I was born.
Couldn't you pay people on Facebook? Couldn't you pay
I
pay
also
people on
decided I'm going to start lying about my age this year. So
That's a good time to do
I
it.
think I should too.
Okay,
I think
good.
we all should.
We're all 25 forever.
I'm
Oh my God,
24.
thank you.
I'm happy.
Okay.
24. Yeah, I'm just stopping at 24.
Okay. Yep, I'm 25.
I mean, we're probably all going to get
I think
ID'd
when
until
I'm
we're 30.
30,
anyway.
I'll probably be like 27 again. But I don't know.
30,
You
30.
can lie literally till you die. My grandma did it. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject.
Well, no,
but-
plan B though, like what do you guys think personally
Should we
even?
be taking Plan B by now?
Wait,
Well,
what?
probably not, but I don't know. It's hard to
You're
tell.
saying like tomorrow. Like, let's say
Okay,
you went
don't-
out and like
don't
you know,
consider, I guess age does
you guys
play a
aren't gonna
factor,
take Plan
but
B?
I mean, so it is different for some people. Like if they are
Well,
just having a one night stand, not like an ex or not like a significant other, not even like if it is a one night stand, like what do you guys think? Do you
Can
think
we get into Plan B real quick? Just the
I don't know
differentiate between a Plan
physiologic-
B and the like abortion pill. Like Plan B is when it literally like stops
you have to
the
take it
egg
48
from
hours.
attaching to your uterus, so there's no like fetus,
Correct.
there's no
Yeah.
cells multiplying.
Doesn't kill anything.
Yeah, it just it's still preventative at that point. We're all
Yeah.
talking about that.
Because you have to take, is it 72
Not-
hours or
It's
48?
72.
Okay,
yeah,
I can't remember.
Basically,
Nobody wasted time when they took it.
Preventative-
There was like maybe
my
2
God.
hours.
there are
Not even 2
no
hours. Within
cells
30 minutes.
attached to the
CBS.
uterine wall and are multiplying and like
Yeah.
technically becoming a fetus at that point. Okay, not the abortion
Not
pill.
the
that,
abortion
like,
pill.
expels
No,
all that
we're
shit.
not. Abortion will be a separate topic. We
Okay.
did
We already
touch
did
Plan
on
B,
it.
yeah.
but
Why wouldn't you take Plan B if that is like if you're
Everyone's
if your
that's
Plan A fails?
if you're planning. Which was
Go
the
with
condom or the
Plan
birth
B.
control. No, I know. I just was more so. I mean, it's a drunk hookup, so it was
Wait,
kind
so
of in
would
that
you
sense.
pay for a friend's Plan B?
No.
I would not.
But that's the other thing. Are we talking about age? If I was 19, maybe if they didn't have it. But if you're 25 years old and you don't have enough money to buy fucking Plan B, we got bigger
19,
problems.
yeah.
Okay, wait, yeah, that
I mean, in
is-
Go to the
college, I
casino.
would.
I
In
would
college,
not.
I would freak out for my friends and be like, "No, let's go. Like, okay, do we need to Planned Parenthood? Like, we got to take a blood test." Like, I would be on it. But now I'd be like, "So what are you gonna do?" But I'm here.
So
but like,
this is, the ball's in your court.
Again,
and,
what do you wanna
actually,
do?
know
I'm
what?
not
If
dribbling.
I had a friend that was 25 years old and couldn't afford Plan B, I think I would be more inclined to pay for it because I'd be
It's
like, clearly you
$50.
can't afford like a child. Like we're not bringing a
That's
human
true.
into this.
you're a good friend.
That's
though.
true.
Like I would be like, let's nip this in the bud. Like you,
Like, listen,
and
if you cannot afford $50 Plan B, like, how the fuck are you gonna
while
afford
we're
like
at it,
anything?
get you a chastity belt because you're not responsible.
Yeah, you need to lock that
enough.
shit up.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shit
just stop
down.
having sex until you make money.
Yeah. But anyway, so we'll kind of keep going forward though. So this one, I think we're pretty much all on the same page, but I do want to go into more of like the logistics of it. So boundaries with smashing each other's exes, hookups, whatever.
Can we not smash?
Smash. We will smash like a pancake. We're going to
Again,
sit on them
so
and
are we
ride them
talking
like,
about, like, a
the wise
2-week
words of genuine
relationship?
pony.
Wait, I know Mallory has a lot of opinions on this. I just did when no, you said you did, and I appreciate that. I like it.
You said you did, so.
Because when I first saw this topic, my initial reaction was like,
Who does
Why
that?
are we talking about this? Who the hell does that? Who actually like is physically like attracted to their friends' exit? Like I don't.
I'm not saying, okay, look at it in
not
this
just
way.
physically try where you can like recognize like, oh yeah, he's cute or whatever. Like
But you know, have you ever, I've never had
not
this.
feel uncomfortable having like their friend's ex's like naked body like on top of them. Like that is not.
But there's a difference when you say ex, and this is what I mean by we're all on the same page.
okay.
Like ex-boyfriends are off limits, but let's take away exes because I think we're all on the same page. But like people you've hooked up with, like how serious are you about? I've hooked up with him a few times versus like he's my hookup buddy versus he was black.
You go
What?
now.
Like I thought he was white. Like like you literally don't remember. So
still
like
think that's
the difference.
weird.
I think it's weird too.
I would say
I'm not saying it's completely off limits at that
Yeah.
point, but I think it's weird.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to like deal with like, I don't know.
I've been Eskimo sisters with my best friend before, and not in the sense of like we've gone all the way, but like we've both like if we've both gone pretty far with a guy, but it was just so like I honestly am telling you, like, it was so detached. Like, we were both so detached that we just like did. And it was also college, which is very different. Somebody that like we both didn't care, neither of us, and we laughed about it. But there were some people where like if I had consistently hooked up with them,
Are you
like,
calling that an ex though?
No. That's why I got rid of the term ex and I brought in like hooking up.
Sorry,
so like we were fine with it, and we even talked about it. And we're like, you know, the fact that we had to like feel like we had to address it, we were fine. But then there are those people that like, no, I've hooked up with him several times. So like, you've seen him come here several times. What's
I
the
think
point?
it varies how often you hook up with them.
And like where you're hooking, like it could be awkward if you're in the same house and you walk in. And you're
we
like,
were in the same dorm
"Hey,
room.
How's it going?
We were
And
in
like,
the same dorm.
But again,
Were you
we're
in
like,
the room
I'm
when it
talking about
happened?
now.
Yeah,
Like,
no, but
college
that's-
is such a different time. Like,
But in girl code
all
general.
shit goes in college. Like,
Yeah.
you do you. But like now, it would be awkward if like somebody came into the apartment.
Oh, I've been here before.
Right. And they're like, oh, this looks familiar. And then you're like, hey, this is my roommate. And you're like, yeah, I know. I know very well.
So what if
Your
you
room's
walk
a lot
into your
smaller than your
dorm
roommate's.
and the guy that you had very vanilla missionary sex with is all of a sudden tied up and like nipple clamps attached to like
yeah.
I don't like.
Who's
How
your
would you
roommates with
guys
that
feel?
bitch?
I mean,
That'd
how
be
would you?
awkward. Or what if like you always
Awkward.
complained like, oh, it was bad sex, and then all of a sudden like your roommate or your friend is like, that was the best sex I ever had, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, is it me?
Gotta go back and try it again.
That's
oh
where
my
the
God, wait.
insecurity step in.
When you were bringing that up, I was like, yes, I've had that to me. And I immediately went to her being like, I never even thought it was me actually until like right now. I was like, okay, she's a liar. Like,
Now she's like,
I
fuck, was I
I
dry?
didn't have good sex with a noodle dick. Like, come on.
Sweetie, you were like a cactus.
Wait, so what, when we first brought up the topic about exes, you were thinking like boyfriends, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that's
I want to know what your reaction would be. Like, let's take the
Mine
hookups
own?
off. Any of you.
Okay, wait.
A boyfriend,
So the
an
guys, wait, Cassie and Kylie, you heard the episode. What did they say if your friend smashed their ex? Remember what they said? What did they say? That they'd be pissed at
some
the
of them,
girl
yeah.
versus the guy. So who would you guys be mad at? Would you be mad at your friend or the random guy or even the guy, the ex? Who would you mad at?
The random guy, probably not so much.
Wait, hold on. Because we wouldn't have a random guy in our situation unless we
Yeah.
all turned lesbian.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Okay, because why would there be a random guy if it's our
Yeah,
ex-boyfriend?
because we're not talking about randoms anymore. We're talking about
Okay,
if it's
well,
a boyfriend.
no.
or
Okay, let's
somebody
take out
you talk
random. So
to.
let's say like you were okay. I'm not even going to say like a 5-year relationship. Let's say you were dating somebody for
6 months.
6 months, even 6
Okay.
months minimum, and then let's say even like 2 years maximum.
And then they hooked up with
And they
one of
hooked up
us.
with one of and it doesn't have to be your absolute like, oh my gosh, she's my maid of honor best friend, but like your friend that would probably
Absolutely
like,
the fuck not.
Oh, I
so
would
who would
slap-
you? But
I'd
who would you be
both-
mad at?
both.
Because the guys, I feel like said, I feel like the girl. So I would. Do you think you'd be more mad at your friend or the guy who was your ex?
both
My
all the way. And if I think it wasn't my maid of honor best friend, I would be even more likely to just cut her out of my life.
Yeah.
Well, cut her physically and cut her out of my life.
So,
Like, I'd
a
be
lot
like,
of cutting.
You're done.
A lot of cutting. So you would be mad at equally both of them? Okay,
maybe slightly more my
The
friend.
friend.
Because
I would
they know
agree.
everything. Like,
Well,
what-
I would say that too because also like he's my ex for a reason apparently,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like you are still supposed to be my current friend.
yeah.
So like that's not going to work for me.
so I would agree. But let's say, what if this was a boyfriend of years on end? Like you have formed. Okay, like I mean, it is fucked up. But for example, like okay, Cassie, this would be a good example. Like with me and Cassie, obviously, like Driss has been in my life now for a while, and like Cassie is one of my best friends. Like I consider her that. She did also come into my life because of Driss and for that reason. But if you guys ever like hooked up, do you guys think like I don't know. In that sense, I wouldn't know.
Wait.
Like if you and Driss ever hooked up, I wouldn't know because Driss was in my life before you and he was mine, and we have this friendship on top of being together.
Mm-hmm.
But like you and I are like sisters. But it all comes down to like I honestly don't know. I think I could just equally kill you both because in my mind,
I
it's
see
like,
what you're saying.
Yeah, because like, I would always go after my friends because it's like girlfriends have your back, but it's like a weird situation when
There
it's
should be like a level of respect on their end.
and their end because
Yeah.
it's like you came into my life because of him, So it's like,
And I also feel like, don't you think you would have enough respect for Like, I would hope in that situation, which also this is just so weird to talk about. Like,
hey, they brought up Alpha and me fucking, so
true.
I'm about to kill them. Yeah,
That's
Mallory
true.
just made the most disgusting face known to man. But yeah, so I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna cross boundaries, like, first of all, like, you both are going to hell.
Well, yeah.
You both are going
But
to
I
hell,
also just
but-
feel like, don't you think that Driss should have enough respect for our friendship?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So maybe I would be, I don't know. I don't know.
Right, but that's it. So it's like, honestly, at the end of the day, I think it just comes down to, we're a hot mess. Sorry. We're a
dropping
little
shit.
bit drunk. But I think it just comes down to, like, how long you've been with somebody and how much importance each of them have in your life. So again, a guy that you've been dating for 6 months, let's say anyone less than a year, versus your best friend in the world is going to be I personally would hope you're more mad at your best friend than this guy of 6 months to a year.
Of course.
But a guy, like, let's literally say, like, your high school sweethearts, dated all through high school, dated through college, are still together, and it's still your best friend. I don't know how long she's been in your life, but she's been there for a while through it all. Who would you be? Who is
You
the
need to
initial
get more
person?
new people in your life. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Well, you probably got to put me in jail. I'm not kidding. Like, you're laughing, but it's like so serious. I think that would make me snap.
Yeah.
Okay, the key example is when you brought up, like, when they brought up Alpha and all of them were like, like,
Right, but that shows,
that's
like,
fucked
we're
up.
not a
But
fucked
I'm
up
saying-
group of friends.
And then, like,
we're not
Cassie
incestual.
literally can't, like, even imagine, like, hooking up with Driss. It's because you literally,
I
as
love you,
soon as
Driss,
your,
but no.
like, good friend is dating somebody, you just, it's not even as soon as, like, I just have never had that.
Have you
where-
become, you said this though, have you become a little bit unattracted to them because they almost become like a
Yes.
brother?
I'm
Yeah.
not,
Do you think so?
I'm lucky that, like, I don't have a lot of competition with my friends like that. No, not like that, where I'm like, oh, there's no competition. I'm just saying,
Kylie
like, we're
said
not,
her friends are
we're not
ugly.
attracted to the same
Emma, did you
type
hear
of
that?
guys. Like,
Oh, I agree. There
You know what I mean?
There
I
is that
don't-
advantage when you're not.
I can remember one specific time where I wasn't even, like, gonna date this person, and I, like, wanted to go to prom with somebody that my friend also wanted to go to prom with, and it was, like, so stupid. But I'm saying, like, I just don't have that where I've really gone after the same type of guy. And I think that as soon as your friend, when you're introduced to a guy as somebody that your friend is interested in them, something, like, just switches where you just don't ever see them that way. Like, you
Unless
don't
you're
ever
a
see the
serial
guy.
killer.
Okay, yes. I mean,
All right,
That's the
Jeffrey
first date.
Dahmer.
that's even a little more than, like, a serial killer trait. That's like
What's worse than a serial killer? I'm curious.
a best
Our
friend
president.
who hooks up with best friend who hooks up with your ex, like, that you dated for years. That is worse than a serial killer.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
True.
Well,
You're-
okay. So speaking of liking the same guy,
Sociopath.
obviously this is sloppy seconds, but more on the term of new meat. So let's say
New hot dick.
new hot dick.
I can't wait.
That's a hot piece of dick.
Hot piece of dick. Hot chicken takeover dick.
Spicy dick?
That was a really long pause because no one thought that was funny.
I know. That was really awkward. Driss, cut that out. Cut that pause out. Or put it like a clap. Where's his soundboard?
Where's your soundboard?
God. But okay, so obviously sloppy seconds, no, hook up, murky waters, watch out. Why the fuck would you want the same dick that's been in your friend to be in yours? You might as well just be lesbians at that point, or scissor.
I mean,
But-
I'm not against Eskimos. Like,
I'm
if
not
it
against
happens
it.
to be a thing, it's like whatever.
But,
It's like,
but
as long
like,
as you
who
guys
is
feel
it? Who is it,
comfortable.
and what did he mean to you? And like,
Nothing.
do you remember
if he
his
means
face?
nothing. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. We just can't keep going over this.
But no, there are limitations, and then there are exceptions, and then there are just you're fucking weird. You're still a serial killer.
Yeah.
But
Wait, what's your question about the new
so,
meat?
another
Not
thing
new,
the guys
no.
brought up is, and I think this is very different than girls, is if you both like the same guy and it's very new, like you guys both meet him at a party and it's like, okay, scenario pops into your head. You're at a party and everyone's drunk and you both meet up at the end of the party. Oh my God, I just met this cute guy. Da, 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 and you both follow each other. Oh my God, it's the same fucking guy. It's fucking John Smith. We love each other.
John Tucker must die.
John Tucker must die. So, I think the guys said, it's kind of like, best man wins. Like, both of you take your shot. I don't think girls are like that because I think girls are very much, no, let's lay out the rules. Let's talk about, we can let him come to us, but you're not allowed to make a move. You're not allowed to make an approach. What is the girl code for it?
I actually had something happen. Sorry. I actually
No, it's
had
good to give
something
stories.
happen to be like this. Again, it was like back in high school, which I'm still friends with that person. But
Oh God, if you're
basically
listening.
what
If you're still listening.
yeah, so I was like, I've been texting this guy like over spring break, you know, whatever. And she was like, oh my God, like I've been texting a new guy too, the same fucking guy.
Did
and I'm
you
like,
both meet him in Panama?
no. Okay, no. He was from Westerville, but he went to a different, went to the Catholic high school. Anyway, he didn't go to our school, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So that was like awkward. And then I think honestly, I mean, maybe I'm just a really good fucking friend because I was like immediately like, oh my God, no, have him. Because like at that point I was just like, this is not worth it to me to like, at that point it's like, this is like a new person in your life. You literally don't even know if you like him yet. Like you could talk to him again tomorrow and be like, he's fucking weird. So I was like, whatever, have him. I don't care.
And she went for him?
Yes, but I think both parties
like you and you, when you say both parties, you mean you and her, or you and him
me
and her
should have been like, fuck that. Like, that's not worth it. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I was telling Sumie. Like, I feel like not all girls, but like a lot of girls, instead of going for the guy's approach, which would be like, oh, let the best man win, like survival of the fittest, whoever the fuck she chooses, whoever has the best moves.
You make it sound like the Hunger Games.
Well, I mean, isn't it a little bit?
They were explaining.
They acted like it was a little, but no, it would just be like both girls would be like, okay, well then neither one of us is gonna, you know,
it's just not worth it.
Make a move.
That being said, that this was the same person. Yeah, this was probably like sophomore year. This is honestly, I have not thought about this in like 8 years. Anyway,
she's tearing up.
No, crying. No. So then senior year, we both wanted to go to prom with the same person, and I was like, not backing down. Like, I'm gonna go to prom with this person.
Oh shit!
And I did, and I'm not sorry about it.
So it's like battle royale.
And
and you did go to prom. So did
we date? No. Did we have a meaningful relationship? We didn't even have sex.
So did you?
Wait, oh my God! Now I'm realizing people can just go through my Facebook pictures and like figure out who I went to.
Oh, I will. Trust me. But did you ask him?
There's 3 different years, so it's like one of 3 people.
Did you ask him to prom?
No.
Or he asked you.
Who do you think I am?
Well, no, because here's the question I'm going to ask you. You obviously tell us how you feel, but I want to ask you too. What if you were the girl that he did choose? Would you, because if, let's say you and your girlfriend both were like, no, I'm done. This is for Lulu and Cassie, but no, we're done. Like, our friendship's too important. Like, we're not going to do this. But he approaches you. What would you do? What would you literally do if he approached you after you made that truce?
Cry.
Okay, so
cry first.
After you cry.
No. Okay. See, that's like such a tricky question because it's also like, I guess I'm the kind of person that's like, am I really going to let that sticky situation? Like, what if he's like the one?
Yeah. No, I know. That's
because
what,
I'm thinking. I'm also
at.
thinking more like, again, like we're coming to current times, right? Mm-hmm. So like 25 years old. Yeah. I feel like we shouldn't be doing childish games. Like, and I'm not saying it's childish because I feel like I would feel the same way. Yeah. You know, like I would also want to be like, okay, we shouldn't just do that. But it's also like at 25, like, what if this is the guy for you? You know, and you're just gonna like.
I mean, at this age, you're dating for something
That's
serious.
kind of like alpha's like, let the best man win.
Right, but it's like, I also am.
But girls don't always initially start off that way. And that might be, and I'll give the guys this. At least that's understood.
Oh, yes. I agree.
May the best man win.
I was in the same situation that Kylie was in, like me and one of my good friends.
I thought you were going to say with Kylie. I was
when you were an adult.
Yeah, by the way, I was the third person he was texting.
Okay.
Oh shit! When you bring out the extra wheels.
You also weren't like 17, so it was a little more high stakes than now. Than prom night.
But no, so like if I was in that situation, looking back at it, I would, because the situation that I was in, he went for her and she went back
to him.
And I was just like, you know what? That's really shitty. Like,
yeah.
What does she have that I don't? You know what I mean?
Like, you start to feel bad about yourself.
Yeah. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm like really good friends with this guy now. And I'm like, I'm glad nothing happened with us. But now, like Cassie said, like, what if this is the one? Yeah. But then like I have to think about it too. Cause I don't know what I would do if I was like saying it now. I would be completely saying probably what the opposite I would be doing because I don't know what I would do in that
because you already saw the foreseeable future. You're already in it. You're living it.
Yes. So now I want to say like I wouldn't do that, but
you wouldn't have let him have her.
My clock is ticking.
So true.
We all do have a personal timeline.
And
so, I'm 24, so. I'm good to
Oh,
go.
little Miss lying about her age. Tack on another hand. I'm just kidding.
Dang.
What if you were the other girl that didn't get picked? How do you? Okay, we're all gonna cry still again. So
Dropping
First
bombs.
reaction, cry.
cry. But what do you like? Let's say he didn't ask you to prom.
Okay, again, I was not like that emotionally invested. It was just the fact that like I was like, okay, so
But, like, your pride,
Sophomore
I
year,
mean.
I was like good friend, and I was like,
Oh, so it is your sophomore year prom? Okay.
no, my sophomore year, I said like I'm not going to go for this guy. So then senior year, when she was like, well, I want to go to prom with him too, and I was like, well, tough shit. Again, this all goes back to the fact that like guys really don't like control these situations. Like prom, like. The guy knows who he is going to ask because she has told all her friends that she wants him to ask her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It's kind of understood.
yeah.
Yeah.
like the fact that me and her were making that decision is like kind of absurd. But yeah,
Politics.
I mean, I was just basically like, I mean, we're going to see what happens, I guess. But like, I'm not going to say no because I thought it was fucked up 2 years ago when I was like immediately like, oh, our friendship is too important to me. I'm not going to talk to this guy. And then you went for it.
Yeah. But I mean,
And
age,
she was basically like, oh, okay, thanks. And I was like,
but age has a
bitch.
different factor to it too, because sometimes the older you get, you do learn that there are plenty of fish in the sea. But when you're in high school, I mean, not always.
The sea is dying.
yeah,
kinda
it's
dying.
even
It's like the Dead
more
Sea, but
when you're
dead.
older.
There's a lot of pollution.
There's more high stakes.
Damn.
Like I think when you're younger, you should practice being a good friend.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
than and if you are 25 and you really have a connection with some guy, you need to be able to talk to your friend and be like, look. Do you really? I don't know. Again, I've never really been in this situation because me and my friends like aren't attracted to the same guy.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
and
You gotta
that's a
find yourself
convenience.
friends that
Yeah.
have different tastes. in
Oh
men.
yeah. You need to date a whole like rainbow coalition of boyfriends. Like
Yeah.
there needs to be.
Right.
But it's like when you have
so-
girl nights and drink over
Yeah.
hottest celebs, you're like, oh, God,
That-
what do you
I
know.
mean?
Well,
That
you
was
know
the
what's
night
really
that
funny?
me, Sumie, Danny, and Rachel, we literally compared our hottest guys and we turned the phones around and I swear to God, you could not have 4 of the most different men on the planet.
That's
Yeah.
well, you know what's
Oh,
really
they weren't
funny?
all Idris Elba.
I was
Nope, just
my-
Sumie's.
Sorry, I just had to. I think Idris Elba has to be shouted out at least once on every episode. of
Driss
this
will
podcast.
never let you back on this podcast, but I don't care. That's the greatest thing that was said during this whole thing. But Lulu, you were gonna say
All
something.
I'm saying is, granted, he's like one of my gay friends, but we have the same taste in guys.
Oh,
and
God.
it's like I'm like, no, it can't be happen. Like you never know these days. Like a really feminine guy that's like well put together could be either gay, metro, married, taken,
Both.
all of the above.
Everything.
questioning
So now
the
I'm just
child
like instead of going with my girlfriend, now I'm like comparing with my gay friend. Like so.
Wait, is
Well,
that
but
a
then
real
the-
thing?
but the
Do you
good
think
thing
you're
about that is,
competing-
like, you have to
competing
depend
with
on-
your gay friend, like
You could
for
be.
guys.
Yeah, but like, let's say if the guy that you're both into is bisexual,
That's
is a
an issue.
whirlwind of
But
problems.
luckily, he's
but-
into guys and I'm into.
Yeah,
guys.
there's no competition. I'm sorry.
Almost said girls. She's a lesbian.
I'm bi.
No, I mean obviously it depends on his sexual preference. Like if he's straight, you're good. But if he's gay, well, I'm sorry, sweetie, but you need to sit back.
Well, I hope he's gay going after guys or bi.
Again, yeah, it's 2018.
Yeah,
like
you really
just
don't
need to
fucking
be
know.
gay.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Who
sometimes.
is
No,
like
stop practicing. Just stop practicing.
Just do it.
Just get a dildo and do it yourself.
Okay.
That was really mean.
God.
I'm sorry. Can you edit that?
No, we're not editing anything. But
it out.
so we have 2 more big ones that I do want to for sure get through. And I'm actually going to bring up this one. So we've all had that one guy friend that's like, oh my God, let me hook up with your girlfriends. Like, let me do this. Oh my God, I think she's so cute. And sometimes it is hard when, okay, if it's a girl that you don't really know and she's not your best friend, you may not really know their preferences and you'll do your best. But if it's a girlfriend of yours that like, no, sweetie, I'm sorry, he's not into blondes or something, like there's, that your friend is not interested in him. How do you tell your other guy friend that? How do you tell your guy friend?
I look at him and go,
So you're pretty upfront?
oh yeah.
So if one of our friends, let's say Alpha or Bashir or Curtis or anybody came up to you and was like, oh my God, Lulu, I literally think, so-and-so is beautiful. Like, come on, hook a brother up. Like, how do you think you'd handle it? And that's one of your friends. It's not, and I'm not saying obviously they have tough skin. I'm sure they'll be fine. But sometimes that awkward conversation, what would you say?
I mean, my expressions show it all. So I'm going to have the face like, but then I'm going to be like, you're not her type.
Okay.
I'm just going to be like upfront and be like, you're not your type. Or if I'm unsure like about her type, be like, I mean, she's right over there. You can try to talk to her. I can introduce you, like be a wing woman, wingman, whatever you want to call it. And then you can take the floor.
So you're still going to let them take the chance, or you're going to be like,
them,
I'm going to nip it in the bud?
If I don't know what they're really into, or if they're kind of like exploring, you can take the floor and do it yourself. I'll do the introduction, and then it's.
But then that's the difference between a good friend
but
versus.
Then if I know like a good friend and I know what she's not into, I'm just gonna be like, no.
Okay.
Don't even waste your time.
Do you guys agree? Would you guys handle that the same way? And vice versa. Same thing with like a girl who might be into your guy's friend. It doesn't have to be like.
So I think girls are wired differently and would do it differently. Like if they have
So
a
how
guy
would you?
friend-
Okay, so a guy after one of your girlfriends, how would you approach that? And then we'll do the next one.
A guy that wants to.
A guy that wants to get with one of your friends, and you're like, no. Like,
Okay.
I don't know.
You
the nicest-
absolutely don't think that it's going to work out? Like,
or even if you're just like, if you think maybe it could, okay, here's my thing. If you don't know and you're not sure, I would hope you'd at least be like, you know, oh my God, like so-and-so is really nice. You should meet him. But I'm saying if you're pretty much like, no, she's not into guys like that. That's not her type, you know? And your guy friend is pestering you about getting with one of your girlfriends.
Okay.
Like,
so
let's say
I had
Jay's friend.
Okay. Well, yeah, I had a friend like this in college, and then he actually, I mean, it was fine because they're both like basically just had detached sex like one time. But I told him, I was like, she is not like, you guys are not going to work out. Like he was.
So you told him
looking for like
love
a girlfriend, and I was like, she basically has a boyfriend that goes to like IU, that she's like down here just to like fuck around, which is fine. She's still one of my best friends from college. But I was like, you're not into the same things. Like, you need to be specific about like why it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
what if it was race? Would you just say like, she's not into white guys, or she likes the black, or
like,
she doesn't like black
if
guys, she likes white?
Literally was just like, I won't date a black guy.
Not even date, but it's like, I mean, she honestly, like, her type is like the rower from Harvard, the white guy with like the blonde hair, versus like, or if she's like into, no, I like black athletes.
I don't know
like,
if.
do you think you would say something? I'm not saying I have an answer. I'm just asking you, like, what if that is the reason?
Speaking as a person whose fiance looks like, you know, the Social Network movie, the
Winklevoss
the
twins?
Winklevoss. Literally,
Yes, I
my
think
fiance
Jay
looks like a Winklevoss. I have
He does.
never said. I've never even thought like, oh, I'm not gonna be into like
Right, but that's what I'm
a
saying.
black
Like,
guy. Like, I think you need to be open. Like, yeah, if that was her reason, I would be like, well, she's a bitch. That's why you're not going to go after her. Like,
right, and I agree. I think the race card is hard to like. That's not something you should ever
no,
pull
I think
in.
that, like,
but
just the looks card, like, because yes, like, people always have like a type.
yeah,
Totally. But if it's like a great person, and I was going to say like a little bit too like ready to be like the wingman, because I just want all my friends to like date each other so we don't have to bring in like new friends.
Oh my God.
That's a
Literally, like,
We
if
all came back
everyone
kinda
just
like,
will like
okay.
listen to like who I should like set them up with, everyone would be a lot happier, especially me. We could all live on like a compound together. Everything would be fine.
It'd be so good.
But yeah, so no, I don't think I'm very like, I'm pro people getting together.
so you would take the chance, and you would probably
unless it was something extreme like that, and she was like an absolute bitch, and I knew that about her, I would just say that.
So you would at least let it happen. You would say, hey, so-and-so is into you. So let me ask you this now. Let's say Jay comes back to you and be like,
Yeah, and I would chat them up. Like, I would be like, this guy is
Okay.
great, and like, if you're gonna be a bitch to him, like,
don't do it. Like, if you don't like him,
Yeah,
just tell
I-
me and I'll end it. Okay.
I would
Okay.
just be like, just don't be rude.
So
Like,
what about you guys then? How would you approach, like a guy friend of yours wants to get with one of your girlfriends, or even, like I said, the other way? I know girls are different than guys, because personally, like, I feel like a girl, I would be a little bit more like, I don't know if you'd have to be sensitive.
I feel the same way though. Like, okay, so it also, I think, depends on like how good of a friend this guy is to you that's asking to be hooked up with your friend. So like, if I'm sitting in a room, you know, 2 to 3 times a week for so many years, and I'm hearing them talk about like how they like where they are in their mindset for relationships.
My bitches.
And so
He refers to every single girl as my bitch.
Right. Just like if I'm very aware of like where he is emotionally for a relationship, and I'm also aware of where my friend is that he's interested in, and like I know that it's not gonna, like, why would I set my friend up for that? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, low key, he's my friend, he's a good guy down there, but right now he's an asshole.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not going to set her up to be like, yeah, no, maybe you'll be the one to change him. Like, no, you fucking won't. And like,
You
sorry.
can find your own man that you'll change.
Like, find your own social experiment.
You just have to like be upfront. Like,
Yeah. Because I think, equally, like, guys, we have girlfriends where we're like, no, you're not going to ruin this guy's life. Like, we have those girlfriends too. We have those guy friends, and we're not biased about it. We're like, no, I love you as a friend, but you are a terrible person. I'm not going to let you do this to this girl, or I'm not going to let you do this to this guy. So
I also just think it's like where they are currently, like maybe they're a great person and maybe at 30 it could have worked, but like, are you both going to be single and still interested in each other at 30? I don't know. But right now he's just looking to like fuck people and you're trying to find a husband. I'm not about to set that up for failure.
Yeah. Right.
There's already enough of that shit going on.
So, I mean, guys in general, like, we do think it through. Like, if we don't know this girl that well and she's an acquaintance and like we don't hang out with her as much, we'll probably like bring it up to them once or twice, but we may not push it because we don't know this person. But also, if we aren't truly pushing it, I hope you just read between the lines and understand she's probably looking out for both of us, one of us, whatever it may be. And if she thought it was going to be a match made in heaven, she would have done it. I know the guys said in their episode, just let it happen. Like, just let me happen. And it's like, you know what? You're right. I'll introduce you to, but do not make my friend feel uncomfortable then.
But they also did say something that I agreed with, which was like, ask once. Don't ask again.
Yeah. I agree
so
with
it's
that.
like, if I haven't gone out of my way to do it, it probably means that like, I'm not that interested in investing my time to do it, or like, I'm already aware this isn't going to work.
Right.
So like, don't constantly, every time I see you, like, so like, when are you going to put me on to your friends?
Especially if I know versus if I
didn't last week or 2 months ago, and I'm not going to now.
Yeah.
Don't you think we should just be upfront with the guys though and be like, look, this is why I'm not putting you on my friend, because like,
well,
X, Y,
you
and
said
Z.
that, and I think one of you two said it, Mallory or Cassie said it, but no, I agree. It's just, even girls though, it is a little bit different because girls, you are a little bit more mindful of their feelings, but in general, like, you'll know, like, if your friend is like, I always do this. If it's somebody that because my best, like, my group of friends really aren't single. So like, I would never hook them obviously with anybody.
I would hope not.
Right. But like, if it's a lot of my friends, like you guys, I would consider my best friends, but like, you guys are in my group of guy friends too. So I obviously there's not that question.
Yeah.
But let's say it's somebody that like is a good friend of mine from college, but not my absolute best friend.
Emma, we already shouted her out.
We did shout her out. But like, let's say this is like, no, it's not her type. Like,
Emma
I would
is our
ask
best
her.
friend.
I would ask her. She is my best friend.
Yeah.
And but I know her taste to her core. Like, I know the kind of guy she's into.
Sorry.
So if one of my guy friends was like, oh my God, I really like her. And if I was like, oh, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Because sometimes Emma does surprise me. I will ask the question to Emma, but that's it. Yeah. I'm not going to play Cupid. I'm not going to push it. Unless I truly in my whole heart think that like, no, these two people are like, because Jazz did that with Driss and I. I mean, Jazz, like, it was a couple of times we met each other
Hand
out.
clap for Jazz.
She did.
I have a lot of feelings about this because I remember
when I told you guys about Driss.
No. I'm getting a little salty that Jasmine is the only one who's getting props. I mean, I get she was there every day.
No, but
that summer is when I lived with. When I took over Emma's room, remember?
Yeah, Kylie basically lived with us for a summer.
And he all of a sudden was like in the bedroom, like in your room, and I was
everyone was like, oh.
And then everybody was like asking all these questions about Driss. I was like, no, guys, like he is great. Like first of all, I want a handwritten thank you note from Driss because I was putting him on like
he may forgive you for the Idris Elba comment.
Actually, now that we're all like, I mean, I get
no.
But
that's an example of she knew, like, you know what? I didn't know. Like, and she literally looked at him. She goes, so you really do like him? I actually do see you guys like together. And she was on it. But that's an example of like, I knew if my best friend was pushing for it, that like, I asked her about it. I really did. And like, I didn't make the move because I'm too pansy to do it. But like, and I'm also very old fashioned in that sense where like, I'll tell somebody, but I'm not going to push it because I also have my insecurities. but she was somebody that was like, no, I'm gonna make it happen. That's a different example.
Yeah.
But if Jazz gave me vibes like, yeah, I'll ask Driss. I'll be like, so like something about him, or you don't think he might like, maybe he's just not into girls like me. So I feel like I would get the picture because she was very expressive. She would like randomly bring it up.
Expressive about it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Kylie, you were very expressive about it.
I was like, I have known him since we were 15 and we were in Spanish class together. And
she did go to North. I keep forgetting you went to North.
And I forgot Driss was like a thing, and then we saw him and I was like, yes, Sumie and him.
It was a thing. I forgot but that's what I'm saying. Like, and if you or Jazz ever one day were like, yeah, I mean, I'll talk to Driss, and then I would be the one to bring it up, and you guys never brought it back to my attention, I'd be like, maybe he doesn't like girls like me, or maybe he really isn't into me.
That sounds so sad. Like it would be in a documentary, like girls like me.
Don't you think girls are different though? When we are talking, let's talk about like, you know, like putting people on, like the fact that we were like, yes, like you have to address, and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go for it, because I literally, okay, first of all, let's be clear, I had not talked to Driss since we were 15 until you hooked up with him. I could have been like, I love him, he was so nice, like back freshman year. But he could have been a serial killer then, you know what I mean? But the fact that you were like, went for it, shows like girls are more willing to like go for it.
But I was willing because
I think guys
no,
are
but you're
less
willing
likely.
because you're getting the picture. Like my friends are pushing for it. If anyone gets the hint that this girl is not trying hard enough for me to hook up with her friend, the specific friend that I'm pointing out, you need to just get the picture. Stop putting people in uncomfortable situations. Like there are friends, like I will still text like, oh my God, so-and-so wants to see you. And I'll bring it up because I don't know them well enough, but it's also like, I don't care. They also are the type of person, like if they're drunk, they probably do anything, but you need to just get the picture. That's all I'm saying. Like you need to understand.
Get it.
She's not pushing for it, so don't ask her to push for it. Yes, let it happen. I agree with that, but also it puts us in an uncomfortable situation. Oh my God, I already told you I don't want to see him. Like he's so creepy, because there is that creepy friend that guys have. No, but guys have that creepy friend that just doesn't let go. So that's where you're like, please stop. You got to stop. My friend's already complaining, but
I think it should be, if you ask and they say no, drop it. But then if anybody else brings it up, or if they bring it up, then get the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Get the full.
it's literally get the
image.
picture. Nobody
the
at this
whole
age needs to be
portrait.
that naive. Like
Get the
you
picture,
should
duh.
know. Get a picture, duh. But
We're all in agreement. Next.
next,
Everything has gone well.
this is a big one though, because we all have.
We're about to go in.
We're about to go in. We're not. No, there will be no. And I'm going to be the mediator in this. But the
Unless
final,
we
the
overtake
biggest
you.
one. Yeah, I
There's
know.
more
I
of us
might.
than you.
The big one is we're all kind of intertwined. Typically everybody on this podcast we know in some, I mean, like Kylie and I have very mixed, and Kylie's been North, like Mallory and Cassie are from
I
North.
already
like,
decided this is my first podcast. I can't be back because I'm very bad at like concealing people's identities. So,
yeah, don't.
Sorry.
And so we're not going to say it, but
not gonna
this
say
is a
names.
topic I think that's pretty universal. It's not even just with our friend group. I
I
think
think we talk about this all the time.
we do talk about it, but we need to kind of address it and go into detail. So when your friend brings in a significant other,
I wouldn't say significant. Just a girl they're
An
into.
other?
well,
An
okay,
other.
if you're and the
An
guy,
it.
no, I will say the props to the guys, because Driss actually I think said this. So, babe, I'm going to shout you out. You're bringing the girl around. She has
We're
to
giving
mean some
Driss way
sort
too
of.
many props. On this
Driss's head is
podcast.
too big to fit through this door.
Yeah.
He has
It kind of is,
long
though.
fingernails.
How do we deflate him?
Yeah, we need to deflate
You're a
him.
Just talk about
Stupid
Idris
asshole.
Elba.
Yeah,
Guys,
Idris Elba's hotter than you.
I just said he has long fingernails. There you go.
He
Boom.
doesn't care. He
All
needs
right.
them for basketball.
know.
They do hurt though. But anyway, so they, one of the things that was said was, if you're going to bring somebody around, a girl around or a guy around, regardless, you're going to have some sort of judgment. And that's human nature. No matter what, it's human nature. And they don't even have to be a judgmental person. You're going to be like, oh, that she's new. Like, or he's new. Who is that? So what are your thoughts on if you dislike your friends? I'm going to say significant other, because that encompasses
All
fuck
beings.
buddy, boyfriend,
Relationship.
girlfriend. We're just talking. I met her last night. Yeah, I'd need a soundboard.
Whoa.
But how do you react if you don't like this person? And what do you expect from that person to say to you? So I'll open it up to you, Mallory. 'Cause she was ready. She
Mallory.
already had the mic up to her face.
All I have to say is I expect both sides to be civil, every side to have respect. But you can't just expect people to honor you and respect you right off the bat. If you bring someone into the friend group, that's obviously something serious.
So respect is earned in your...
Yeah, because I will say, like, off of what Mallory said and also what the guys said on their podcast, like, usually if you're bringing someone into the friend group, and I'm not talking just like your best friend or like an exclusive group of 2 of 3, like I'm talking about like
a group
the
setting.
whole group of 10 to 15 people that you're usually hanging out with, going out with, and in a setting like that, you've already made the decision that like this person is worth introducing because she's gonna be or he's gonna be around more often. It means something more than just like, yeah, I could text him at, 2 a.m. every other week and then it's like fine and I don't have to tell anybody about it. Like if you're bringing them around that crowd at that point, like you've established some sort of relationship. So like,
or even limit like expectations.
Like, yeah, there's expectations.
So then are we also, if someone else, if you bring them into the group, I think you need to get a mutual understanding and a feel for the group. And if you don't get along, say you get along with them, bring them along, fine. But if they don't get along with the group and you want to bring them, you got to see where the balance is and you have to see where the vibe is.
So I'm going to say this as a girlfriend coming into the group because I've literally been on both sides equally.
AKA me. Who is this?
Yeah. Mallory's a fucking bitch.
No, I was going to, okay, maybe it's just because like I wasn't anybody's girlfriend, but I was going to say, I think you didn't give yourself enough credit when you're saying like respect is like, I think you're very respectful to people off the bat. I think you're the type of person, I think everyone in this room is the type of person that very respectful right off the bat.
But having a strong
and gives
personality
respect and gives honor to people, like, you know what I mean? Until you give me a reason not to.
And strong personality
and
doesn't mean you're disrespectful.
Right.
Because I
No.
think we all have strong personalities. That does not mean we are disrespectful.
I think
that means we have personality.
Respect should be the like first thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just a no-brainer. I
But
think
you
that's
have
like
to-
an inherent quality that people have.
But I'm
And
never
I
going to
think
go
you
into a
have that. Like, I
situation.
don't think it's...
But I'm never going to go into a situation like I'm going to automatically be treated with respect unless I'm giving it back. I
don't think it's even like respect. Like I think it's like adoration. Like nobody is gonna like literally like bow down,
Kiss
be
your
like,
feet.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like
Yeah,
you are the
that's a good one.
best. You're the best like girl for this guy. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like we're gonna respect you, give you a chance, but I'm not gonna like suck
Mallory.
your
Who
dick.
the fuck is this
Like,
bitch?
I didn't mean for it to come off that way.
That's literally
She
what she
didn't
said.
say,
No,
"Who
no, no.
the fuck is this
She
bitch?"
just goes, who is that? No, well, the first time I met Mallory, we hit it off right away.
I know.
But then she like turns around to, I think it was Cassie actually she turned around to. And it was the first time I met Driss's girlfriends because I had met all the guys before and it was the first time I met all the girls. And me and Mallory like hit it off at the table in the kitchen and you're a dumbass, turns around, being loud as fuck, looks at Cassie, who the hell is this? And Cassie's like, that would be Driss's new girl that, I mean, she can hear you. And I was like, this dumb bitch. But like, you know what? It was such a funny moment that like, it was also kind of one of those like, after talking to her, that wasn't her being disrespectful. That's Mallory. That's who she is.
I think I started a conversation with you and I didn't even know who you were.
No, but that's who she
I was
is.
gonna say, were you
That's who-
actually genuinely curious? Like, who is this?
No, but-
or were you like, you weren't coming at it in a place from like hostility?
So if
Like, who
I'm
the
somebody
fuck is
that got
this?
offended easily, I'd probably be like, did you really just turn around after you had a, like, there also is a difference of personalities, but
Yeah.
I'm also somebody who's outspoken and very like, oh my God, in your face, like bubbly and like, oh my God. And like, that can come off as like, okay,
Right.
did you need a Xanax? Like,
Yeah.
calm the fuck down. We're not hugging. I don't know who you are. Like, I can be that person. So I think it is like also like a clash of personalities, but I will say this though, like I never came into it like the girls are going to love me or hate me. I'm going to be like, they're probably going to wonder, am I the type of girl that makes an effort to show off to all of his guy friends? Or am I the type of girl that treats, I don't see the gender. I just see all of his friends. So I'm going to make my way around. I'm not going to just hang out with the girls as if I'm an awkward chick that can't talk to guys without being with a guy. And I'm also not going to be I'm going to be your slutty girlfriend that the guys are going to admire, but I don't give two shits about your girlfriends. It's how you approach the situation.
Yeah.
That's how people are going to act. And I don't think as a girl or a guy, if you're bringing in a significant other, you should ask anyone to be different. if that's the girl or guy you want to bring into the group, that's who they are. You should let them see who they are for who they are. I'm also not going to tell my friends.
You mean let the group see?
Like, see them for who they are. But I'm also not going to ask my friends. I might say, like, you know, she's going to be nervous. She can be nervous. So it's good if you make her feel welcome. But I'm not going to be like, don't do that, Lulu. It's weird and I love you for it, but she's not going to like you. So she's never going to like you for it. No, I'm not going to ask you to stop being you.
I would never
for the sake of her.
If you have to social engineer these situations, like
that's a good word.
Don't do that.
Social engineer.
Like, tell your friends not to do this. Tell your girlfriend not to do this. Like, it's probably not going to work out. And honestly, like, you just have to let people do them. And if they don't mesh, then
they don't mesh.
Yeah,
you can't force those kinds of relationships, and you also can't force someone like we've all said, like, none of us are going to stop being us. But I'm also definitely not going to stop being me in my group of friends.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Right.
And
I think these are my people, and you're coming in. And if you're going to come for me, like, I just don't feel good about that for you or anybody else.
Gonna lie. Like, our group of friends, minus you, Sumie, we've been friends since like middle school, high school.
Right.
Cassie and I go way back, to daycare, like nannies and shit, sharing the same crib.
We shared a crib, yo.
Yeah. So it's like how I'm going to see a girl coming in. And when I did first meeting, I was probably really drunk.
I think we were pretty wasted.
And I'm going to see how you treat my friend, and I'm going to see you as another person, and I want to see how you interact with them. So I'm going to be a little defensive for my friend, but I'm still going to get to know you. But if you come in here like
ruffling feathers and like,
yeah, like sit down. Who the
stay in your goddamn lane.
Are you?
But you know, I would even argue, sure, significant others, but that's like you bringing a new friend to the group.
I was gonna say, I think I have a very like specific
example.
Like take on the subject, because when I was like, Mallory, you don't give yourself enough credit. I think you're very respectful of people. Like, again, I knew you guys when I went to North for like 1 year, and you guys were more like my brother's friends. And then, you know what I mean? So it was like we knew each other. We were besties back in our cribs. But like,
sorry, we
only a few of us could share the crib.
You're not on the cradle to grave.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. But like, and then I knew Sumie, and then I felt like you guys were very welcoming. Like when I came in just as a friend of Sumie, who was, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, so
general consensus, you guys are pretty accepting.
I think it's just where it just comes down to your personality type. Like if you have a personality that can hang with this group, you're good. And I think that I have, especially my family actually, like, is very much like that. Like, you just have to have a personality that can hang, and if you can't, you can't. Then, like, sorry,
it's
but
just not gonna be fun.
But you gotta, but it's like how do you approach, how you approach somebody's group of friends, I would hope is how you approach someone you're into. You're going to show yourself.
I think you have to show yourself, but you also have to be a little, mind your P's and Q's for the first.
Yep.
Obviously, you don't have to do that anymore. Like, you're not.
But when you step into it, you have to be like, you know, I'm going to be myself, because at the end of the day, if he's not going to like me or if she's not going to like me for who I am, but I'm also not going to openly be like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm fun. Oh, I got daddy issues. Oh,
I like it to get fucked in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, I just think it literally comes
I honestly might respect a bitch if she just walked up to me like, hi, I like to get fucked in the ass.
I respect that more than if she started fighting with us.
Well, of course, but I'm just saying.
Again, it comes down to like your personality. Like, you have to read people have to read the room. Read the situation. And if you're not going to be our friend, you're just not
social engineering, like that person, the person who's bringing somebody,
don't drop bombs on our friend group.
No,
like,
if you
just know they're not gonna like.
Here's the other thing too is like it can be very different if there's like, say there's a friend group of 10, and I'm talking like, you know, just an exclusive group that's like it's been the same for a while. Like,
let's talk about family. They're very exclusive, loud ass.
Yeah, but like if there's a problem,
very much like, I don't know if that's fucked up on my family's part, but. Use them as an example. We can throw them on the podcast.
But if you have one person that like is not meshing with this newcomer, okay, like that's fine. Maybe there's just a personality clash.
You're an outlier.
But if you start where you are in the hierarchy,
true. I mean, if you're the fucking leader of the pack, but like in a friend group, I feel like there's not usually a leader of the pack, right? Like you all. I mean,
if only the leader doesn't get along, I don't think they should be.
Didn't get along with Sumie. Do you think Sumie would still be here?
I mean, but I would.
Not that he was like the leader, but like just as Driss's like longest friend, you know what I mean?
Cousin,
okay, that
but-
maybe not as exactly. Like,
But no, I would argue that if
Do you
it's
know
like
what I mean?
somebody that's like the
he's
person,
the leader, but just as like an
no, I would
important
say if it's
person.
somebody that the person that everybody liked, that they always got along with somebody. You know when they make that expression, well, if she doesn't like him, oh my god, then
Yeah.
like, or if he doesn't like her, well, he likes everybody. When
Yeah.
it's that person, sometimes that's when the questions arise, like, ooh, she's actually bitching about her the most,
Right.
Or
But I
he's-
feel like if there's like, you know, that one person they don't get along with, it's like, okay. But if there's a pattern and it starts to be like everyone
escalates.
has an issue and it's not the same, like it doesn't even have to be the same thing. You know, like if there's like just multiple layers to it, that's like one person is like, I don't fuck with the way that so-and-so did this. And then the next person is like, I really can't stand this thing that this person does. Or like, I hate the way they treat
you see a
so-and-so.
pattern.
You know, and I also think like something for me that I always am on the lookout for is like, if you're isolating, like if you come in and then you're trying to isolate the person. So like you're the newcomer
Yeah.
and you're trying to like, you're not willing to immerse into the group. So you're trying to isolate the person that brought you in. Like I'm not going for that because I don't think that's going to work for me for you trying to take our friend away. And I'm very territorial about like, I'm like, you're not taking from me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not
we
gonna
are
fly.
getting into like very complex like personality differences though.
Yeah, no, we are.
Some
We
people
are.
feel more comfortable like one-on-one with the person to like gauge how the group is like a appetizer for the group, if you will. Like you know, like
Tapas.
Cute Katy Perry.
talk to one person so you can get used to the group. I mean, that's not how I operate. I think it's weird as well because it's like
It's
it
hard to
seems
understand if you're not like
suspicious.
that. Yeah.
But I just think it has
just think if
to
you do it
be-
for, like,
don't
years
you
on end,
think,
though?
if
Yeah.
you have you guys ever brought this question? I'll throw it out. Have you all ever brought somebody into like either your family or your friend group where they just didn't mix and then you kept trying to make it happen? Because I've never had that. Like that would be an automatic turn off for me.
I think I would agree with you. Like if they couldn't, like the first time, you're just meeting somebody. Something's going to go wrong. You don't know their personality or
Yeah.
anything. But then if
couple
it
months.
continues to happen, like after a couple months, I'm just going to say no. If I like you enough, then you're just not going to mix and you can't come around. But do I want to stick in that relationship with that
Yeah.
person if you can't get along with my friends? Like, do I have to have like?
But there's a reflection, like, to me, this is more personal. I do think some people feel this way. Family is different than friends to me
Yes.
because I am very close to my family, super close, but family does not know me to the extent of friends. So to
I
me,
agree.
it's like
Yeah.
my family, even within themselves, have different opinions about different people. But friends to me are like, you guys know how I am. You guys know how you are. Is this person, they don't have to be like us, but can they just mesh in? Are they someone like they may be soft spoken and maybe that's somebody that I need, but they're okay with how you guys are and how I am
And
with
I didn't
you.
mean
You
family
get in
as
a
like
fight.
just whoever your core
Right,
group
like
is,
you're the people that
inherently
know
knows
you.
But like
Yeah.
if they
People
get
that know you.
continue to get in arguments with certain people, are you still
or
gonna,
several people.
or
I would say
several-
several people.
Yeah,
not
several
Or
certain
even
people.
arguments. Like, I just feel like going into a relationship, like, I should never be forcing this new dude
exactly
to pick me over his friends or his family.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like it should never be, like, whatever unit is closest to them, that's most important to them. I don't feel like I should be like, well, I'm not really getting it. I'm not really feeling that. So, like, it's either me or them. Or like not even necessarily putting that ultimatum on the table, but
selfish.
making it seem
Yeah,
that
it
way.
is selfish.
Where it's like, because I also really don't like when people are like, "Yeah, no, I'll go out with your friends. That's fine," and then like cause it to be miserable for all parties.
right. Well, here's my bottom line of this whole situation. If you like a girl, do you. Like if you want to have fun, you enjoy them, like continue that, but just if the group doesn't get along with them, don't say, "Hey, meet us out, like meet me out here," and you're with the girl, and then she's going to continue, like they're going to continue
Forcing
to argue and force it. If you want to spend time with her, spend time with her. Just don't involve us. If you do want to bring her in, give a warning and be like, "Hey, so and so wants to come," but you have to read the general public and the majority.
Right.
Like if we want her or them, maybe.
Yeah.
I think honestly, what this is all coming down to, like my bottom line, is that not everybody can be as cool and be as cool with us.
Exactly.
So true.
As cool as
I
us
agree.
or be as cool with us.
I agree.
Or just like try to blend. Like,
again,
just
like,
try to
this
survive.
is the thing. Like, I think it's just a personality thing. Like, I again have like haven't seen Mallory. Let's just use Mallory as an example.
I love it.
Haven't seen Mallory.
She's a bitch.
You know,
Such a cunt.
before last year, or before I moved back to Columbus for literally like 5 years, and I saw her and I was like hung out with her all night.
I'm
like,
not gonna lie. Like, I
bathroom
knew who you
besties,
were.
Like,
I knew who you were, but I didn't know you knew me. Like,
But
weird.
you know, the moments
Isn't that
where,
weird?
but the moments where you guys
but
just click.
again. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it just doesn't take much to be just nice to people and
Right.
like, get along with people.
But
like,
you don't
why
also,
is
no
this
one's
hard for
asking you to
people?
be best friends with their friends. They're just asking,
Well,
hey,
you-
let's say we all wanted to go get a cabin in Hocking Hills and my friends are doing it. And obviously I want my guy or my girl to be there. Can I trust that we'll go there? And I'm not saying the typical drama that's like, oh God, we're drunk and someone said something rude. I'm saying, like, can I trust that this will be a fun weekend? Maybe one dramatic fight will spark out, not from
No,
you, or
I
like
don't
if you.
think
But if you're
that's-
like, oh God, I can't invite her or I can't invite him because
then you shouldn't be
he
with
doesn't go
them.
along.
I don't
think
care
you
how
kind
good
of
their
are
dick is.
asking people
I
to
don't care
be
how
best friends
good how
though
their
with your
vagina
group
is.
of friends. Like,
It makes it a lot
You know,
easier,
if you
but
wanna
it,
go-
you don't have to be. I'm not saying you have to be. I really don't
I
think
just
that
don't think it's hard to be like friends with.
your significant other's friends.
Well,
It's hard to do,
I
but
haven't encountered that with like my significant other per se, but like it's just not hard to be friends with people and like unless they're really fucking weird. But like you guys
Or
aren't
cunty.
really fucking weird, so it's just not. I just don't understand. Like I feel
Okay.
like we've
Well, here's the
exhausted
thing.
this topic.
If they got good dick, if they have a good vagina, do it. Just don't
That
bring
good
them.
pussy.
don't bring them around and don't
Don't-
you don't have
yeah.
to date them and marry them and
I think
like,
that
go
also,
on
like-
cabin weekends.
Yeah, it kind of comes back to like the guys mentioned it on the episode. Like, do you tell your friend?
Seriously.
Well, I feel like also like our group, like there's really no need to tell any. Like, I wouldn't have to pull one of our friends aside and be like, listen,
yeah.
I don't like that person. Like, they already fucking know. Like, if you're in my friend group, you know if I'm not
I'd
liking
almost
somebody.
though rather that friend that I'd rather if my friend brought a significant other over. I think if you're gonna bring a significant other around, I'd almost rather you two get in fights or tiffs every now and then versus that person fighting other people in your group continuously.
Oh.
No, I will
You don't
speak
think
from
so?
personal experience. I had like a friend of mine brings his significant other.
She's like, what do I say?
Well, they're significant others now, but whatever. Their title has changed. Anyway, but basically, yeah, they get in fights all the time. They do it in front of all of us, and it's so awkward. It
I'm
makes
not-
everybody so uncomfortable. And it's like, just don't bring a hostile person. Like, if you don't get along with them and we don't get along with them, what's
Let
going
me
on?
let me back up. I don't mean all the time. I mean, if there's going to be a fight, I'd rather it be between you two. I'm saying if there's going to be a fight.
Oh,
I'm not saying an
yeah.
everyday occurrence like, oh my God, it's happening every fucking night. I'm saying if
Break
let's
up.
say this is the night that we're all
Obviously.
fighting. I mean, that's their own personal issue.
Is that
though.
even a thing that we have to like say? Like, don't all couples like get in like little
they
argument
do.
when they're drunk and they're just like, ugh, you're so annoying.
Because
Fuck, I'm
things
right
come
now.
out when you're drunk.
But then yeah, and then the next day you're like, whatever.
But what I'm saying is, I'd rather, and I know I'm being biased when I say this, but I would rather see if there is going to be a fight, I'd rather it be between those two so they go fix it. But I would less
because they're gonna
but
fix it the next day,
right,
as opposed
but
to like
versus you, Kylie, coming in and you fighting with every single member of the group, and some sort of fight breaks out,
yeah,
and
I
they're
would
just
expect
like,
someone to cut me.
I
and be
feel like I
"All right,
disagree
no,
only
Kylie."
because animosity builds toward the friend.
it does, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now, yeah, maybe they're not fighting with every person in the group, but if you're not constantly, but if they're fighting with the significant other, the friend group starts to build animosity towards the friend. That's like, what the fuck?
But then you
like,
can also look
it
at other
does. It
situations
does.
and see what that
Also, that
person
was
has like.
experience. It does.
It does. No, I agree. But you can see the past occurrences and like the root of the issue. You can see the root of the issue. But, oh man, I had a really good question.
You've been losing your train of thought.
I lost
I
that shit.
know.
It's
It's
the
like
wine.
mad ADD today. So say like you came like Kylie or Sumie, well, Sumie for you. Like say like your question to me,
oh my
Kylie's
God.
dancing. Sorry, Kylie's just.
so
she's
like
doing
what if
something
you
sexual.
like say when I said like who the hell is this? And you didn't like it and you fought me, would you be more upset if like you're like, I guess like if you, well, like it was getting hostile and then I got defended over you. Like
So
your
I
friend
didn't
was
like you when I first met you. So
it's okay. Not many people do.
What the fuck?
No,
rude.
but obviously, but it wasn't because it wasn't necessarily you. It was more like, great, this is the type of girl that's not going to like someone like me. That was what went through my mind. It wasn't necessarily like, I fucking hate her guts. It was like, okay, well, I'm the type of person that can just have a conversation with random people. That's who I am. And so if everyone's always going to be like, oh God, she's weird for doing that, I'm like, but that's who I am. So like, if you are always going to look at me when we go out together and I'm just going to talk to a random girl just because that's who I am and you're going to judge me for it, that's what went through my mind. It wasn't necessarily, I fucking hate you, but it was like, I mean, I get it. Maybe if I didn't hear you say who the hell that is that, because maybe if you said that in a different room and Cassie was like, oh, Mallory, that's Sumie. That's Driss's new girl. And then you came back and talked to me normal. I probably would have a different impression of you.
No, I agree.
But I didn't fucking like you when I first met you because I'm like, is she dumb?
And
Does she not have etiquette?
Well, no, and I completely agree. Like I would do the same thing. Like I can talk to anybody, but I think it's like because I'm so close. Like we're so close that like even you can agree for it now. Like if one of the guys brought in a girl, you're going to be like a little standoffish because you're going to want to protect them too because you are now part of the group. Like you're a friend.
Right.
But you have to. Here's my thing. Come into the group and bring something to the table. You don't need to ruffle the feathers. You just need to bring something new or be compatible. So like you can be completely different from their group of friends and still be accepted.
A civil human being.
But you can still have a mutual, like, I will say this, like, me personally, my family is my family and I love them to pieces. They mean the world to me. They just don't know me like my friends know me. Right. So it is very important. And it honestly makes just life easier when your friends get along with the person you want to be with.
Right.
Or they just like look at you like, oh, it makes sense. They don't have to be best friends with them, because I don't think that always happens, especially if you meet people later on in life. It's harder as adults to make really good friends.
Because we're more smart.
Right, but you're just more established.
Hold on. I'd like to go back.
I
Mallory just made a statement about being more smart.
Wait.
I hate your guts,
I would like to
Lilo.
point out that the two teachers in this room were like,
Sorry.
Kylie and Cassie made a little bit of eye lock. I just looked at you like this is the same face I made.
It was just an
We're just
inherent.
come on, Lulu.
I know. I saw it too. And I was like,
wasn't gonna judge you, honestly.
I was.
Judge me.
That
No, I
your
was.
crib friend.
We're always going to judge you. No, but I'm going to wrap
Kylie,
things
we were
up
bathroom
though.
friends.
Peeing while bonding.
First of all, there's no bond like drunk girls in the bathroom.
Wait, which is so funny. We can end on that funny note because the guys talked about their bathroom etiquette and how
Yes, what was
but
that?
ours is literally the complete fucking
so
opposite.
the guy
bring a random
said-
girl into the stall of me. Like,
Oh, I have
don't
peed with
so
a random bitch.
Driss and Alpha.
a romper, my whole all my
Driss,
tits will be
Alpha,
out, and it's fine.
and Driss, Alpha, Curtis, Casey, and Bashir all said proper gentleman etiquette is
I would look
don't
at
fucking
those
talk to me in the bathroom. Do not talk to me in the bathroom.
Don't look at my dick.
No, don't look at my dick.
Run in the guy's bathroom.
No.
Literally tries to set up Mallory with my brother, which kind of happened for a little bit. I was kind of
Oh, so we're just putting all our business out there.
No,
Damn.
oh, sorry. I
Air
didn't
the
know.
dirty laundry.
I didn't know it was
Kylie.
dirty.
But-
I was just saying I was like trying to make Mallory a part of my family after hanging out with her in the bathroom.
Wait. The best part was we
Okay,
said
now
something
we're
like, I think I
friends.
texted
I'm still,
Kylie.
Offer still stands.
No, I texted Kylie something like, "Oh my god, I'm with Lulu right now." Or I said I'm with Mallory right now, and she goes, "Oh yeah, I like Mallory." I was like, "No, she's so sweet." She's like, "Well, she has to be with my brother. It's fine."
Okay, again, if people just did like what if they were with the people that I wanted them to be with,
Life would be so much easier for Kylie.
building our
not even for
cul-de-sac
me,
right
just
now.
for
The Kylie
everyone.
show. No. In general, though,
Worked out for you, Sumie. That's all I'm saying.
No, that's true. No, but
almost
we're
worked
gonna
out,
end on
Kylie.
we're gonna end on a humorous
almost worked
note.
out.
We're gonna end on a humorous note, though. So yeah, the guy said it is very different. Bathroom etiquette is very different from guys versus girls. So it was very clear that with guys, you go in, you do your business, you come out. There's no communication.
look at my dick.
You don't look, whatever. Meanwhile, girls, elaborate. What is it like in the ladies' room?
I have
some of my best friends.
I
in
feel
there.
like we
I don't
just
see them again.
yeah.
I've probably peed with more strangers
Than
And maybe
in the
friends.
stall with me than without.
Yeah.
If somebody made up the romper comment, dude, if you're wearing
That
a
was
fucking
me.
jumpsuit or a
Clearly.
romper, you strip down butt ass naked and you say,
no,
I gotta
I've
pee.
tried. I've honestly tried to like pull it to the side and it was like Old Fucking Faithful
No.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's not
You
good.
fucking squirt like a water hose that's being
It was like
clamped
a
at
whale.
someone.
Even
whale.
what if
No.
it zips in the back? You need a friend.
Yeah.
You need a friend. And it may not be
need-
your friend, but it's
Cue
a
the
friend at the
Toy
bar.
Oh,
It's you know what? Some of my best
need a
shot
helping
moments
hand.
come from the bitch the bitch. Oh my God. Who am I?
Alpha.
Stop.
God, some of my best shot moments are the girls that are like, oh my God, let me get that zipper for you. Get the zipper for you, but ass naked. Oh, I'll get your zipper for you.
Tequila for
zipper,
everyone.
zipper. And you know that little clamp at the top of the
Oh,
zipper?
yeah.
That's the bitch.
That's
I have
the bitch.
I was
something. That's the
literally gonna
bitch.
say that is a true friend.
Yeah.
Boys,
and
that's
then
your bitch.
you both look at each other. Oh my God, do you want a shot? Let's do a shot. What do you like? I don't know. I always end on Girl Scout shots. That's me. I can't do tequila.
I'm a lemon drop girl all the way.
Ooh, lemon drop's good.
I love
Falls
tequila.
out of my mouth. Like
I'm
it just
starting-
doesn't go.
Your body rejects it immediately.
I'm into
Yeah.
Rumplemint shots now.
Oh my God.
Christmas. I can only do it at Christmas time.
No, because like, what if you, AKA, want to go home? Like, if you want to talk to a cute boy that you see at the bar,
Then you shouldn't be drinking Rumple because you're gonna fucking puke.
no, you're gonna take that Rumplemint.
Your
and
stomach
you're
is
gonna
gonna
have
make a
winter
Rumplemint
fresh-
mixture.
No, you're gonna
So
have
I
that
feel
winter
like this
fresh.
is why I
ba-
know me and Mom
breath.
were just like
That's like peppermint
meant
schnapps.
to be. Yeah. My cousin always gave me Rumplemint shots, and that just reminds me
Rumplemint
of like
I
sweet
call it-
memory of my
no
childhood.
I call it Rumpy time.
Rumpy. Okay, you're
And that's
done.
probably why you
have
take them
hit your
alone.
quota. But you guys, we're gonna wrap up because this has been a long episode, but a really good one. And I want to thank Kylie because she is an avid listener to our podcast.
I'm never going to be invited back, so it was very nice.
No, it's okay. You gave Driss enough
Wait,
compliments.
Mallory and I
Bring
both
it
said
back.
that initially as well, and here we are, so it's fine. You'll be invited back.
No, I think I love you guys. You guys do a good job because sometimes
Follow me.
it's
on
hard to
Instagram.
be a girl on a podcast with several guys, but I don't think the good thing is we don't always talk about just specific gender issues, but it is nice to have, you know, different girl perspectives. And I know we're going to do that more throughout the season. That's something we all talked about is bringing in guests and bringing in just like episodes
we love
like this.
the bitches.
We
Let's bring
do
in some
love the
cunts.
bitches.
Let's bring
but
in some cunts.
you guys, if you guys
We already
have
did.
any,
We're here.
We don't count.
we don't count. I'm really bad at paying attention to. So we're social critics with an extra S at the end. That's all I remember when we
Pretty
sign
sure there's
off.
an underscore.
I think there's an underscore somewhere in there.
me an
But
Instagram
if
account.
you
Just
haven't
find it.
subscribed yet, like then fuck you. But like you should
comments.
subscribe.
Also, either go back to the previous episode or wait till next week, and then they'll tell you for sure.
Yeah,
what
they'll
it
tell you
is.
for sure.
And if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, just leave a comment.
Let us know.
reach out.
And if you guys want to do
Slide into
topics,
the DMs.
we'll probably honestly do another girls episode. So if you guys have good topics to talk about, like literally give us suggestions because and disclaimer, we don't always talk on behalf of every single girl, but that's why we have different personalities. So if we haven't covered you, fucking die. No, I'm just kidding. No, your opinion matters, but like
fuck with
give us
us,
your
we don't fuck with
perspective on it because we could shout you out if you want it, or if you just even want us to bring it up, like we easily can, but we don't know that. We can't read your mind. So
Sumie, what's
send
your
us info.
email? Their email.
My email's the same one from
yours,
high school.
Not yours. The social critics one.
Yeah,
Social critics.
The guys will kill me for this and give me so much shit, but I blank out when they mention our social media. But Driss will give it at the end of this. He'll post it on his Instagram. He'll post it on the social media or the Social Critics podcast.
Click that follow.
Click that follow. But
all that shit.
I want to thank Kylie
Oh, yeah.
for our newest guest, and she will be back for another girls episode
You're
because this was
welcome.
fucking bomb ass. And then obviously Mallory and Cassie. We've done our girls episodes, and they are bomb.
You'll hear from us again.
But we love you
I'll be back.
guys. Any
Maybe we'll
last
be more
words?
mean.
We love you guys. Girl code, anything girl code, any advice? Last one, go.
Just
Always clean your vagina.
Don't smash a homie.
If you don't fuck with us, we don't fuck with you. Mostly, we don't fuck with you first. So, bye.
Mostly, we never fucked with anyone.
I second it. Just don't be a cunt.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
good
yeah.
one.
Our mothers don't approve of us being kind.
I used to hate that word, but now I just love that word.
No, don't be a cunt. Don't do it.
Don't be cunt.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
See